Chapter 240, 1. This is called a small matter. You call this a small matter? Su Yuan's mother was stunned. Where is the child's mother? If it were someone else, she might not ask so many questions. But after all, she fed Li Hao so many meals and adopted him as her godson, so it was inevitable that she would be more concerned about such things. The child's mother has good genes. The main reason why Yanyan is so good-looking is because my genes are better. Did you see that? The nose, eyes, and mouth are all like mine. Li Hao simply made a joke to get around the remark, then winked at Su Yuan's mother. Su Yuan's mother didn't ask any further questions this time. After a few people had exchanged greetings, Li Hao simply waved his hand, and soon two extended Lincolns drove over. He leaned against the car door with a proud look on his face. This car looks quite impressive, doesn't it? I specially found a car rental company to rent it. It costs several $100s a day. Hurry up and get in the car. Since Li Hao arrived here early, he was responsible for receiving the guests and arranging their accommodation. Originally, Su Yuan wanted to buy the car directly, but Li Hao kept nagging for a long time, saying that it was a waste to buy a car here, so he decided. After getting in the car, Li Hao was still praising himself for saving money for Su Yuan. After getting off the car, they quickly arrived at the hotel booked by Li Hao. Because there were many relatives and friends coming this time, it was very troublesome to arrange accommodation for them one by one. In addition, there were children among the guests. If outsiders stayed there, it would be too messy. He was afraid of accidents, so he directly booked a 5-star hotel. You can get a room in this hotel with just an invitation. Let me tell you, this hotel is the best and cheapest hotel in the area. If you don't believe me, go in and take a look. I have reserved a few presidential suites for you. They are very spacious, and you can move all your wedding items there. Li Hao said this and led a few people out of the car. When the hotel staff knew that Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu had arrived, they came out to greet them. Qingsu, is it really you? You've changed so much. I had just walked into the hotel lobby and hadn't had time to look at the hotel environment when a young woman with a slightly bulging belly came towards me. As soon as she saw the young woman, Zhao Qingsu smiled slightly. Cousin Weiwei, I haven't seen you for a long time. Are you pregnant? The young woman patted her belly and said, I'm not pregnant, you are pregnant. She came up to greet the elders such as Zhao Qingsu's parents and Su Yuan's parents first, and then looked at Su Yuan with a look of amazement. Qingsu showed me your photos before, and I thought you were a handsome guy when I saw your photos. I didn't expect that you were even more handsome in person than in the photos. The relationship between Zhao Qingsu and Weiwei can only be described as neither distant nor close. They chat together during the Chinese New Year, but do not contact each other on normal days. Zhao Qingsu had shown her Su Yuan's photos before, and praised him for being handsome, gentle, and having a good personality. But to be honest, she didn't take Zhao Qingsu's words to heart at that time. What's wrong with a handsome man? Can that be used to make a living? You must find a rich man. But who knows, Zhao Qingsu is not trying to show off. She has never said before that Su Yuan is so rich. And I heard that Zhao Qingsu's mother didn't agree with the two of them dating, because Su Yuan was poor. When she heard the news, she was stunned for a moment, and went to QQ to give Zhao Qingsu some advice, such as, your parents asked you to find a rich man, it is definitely for your own good. When you get married in the future, you will know that food, oil, salt, sauce, vinegar, and tea all cost money, and love cannot be eaten, only bread is eternal. At that time, Zhao Qingsu only replied with a smiley face. Seeing that Zhao Qingsu didn't listen, she didn't say anything more and turned to deal with her husband's mistress. She married a small boss whose family was in the wholesale business. Although they couldn't be said to be wealthy, their family had assets worth tens of millions. Her husband was an only child and was spoiled by his family. Although he is not good-looking and is also a playboy, she is very satisfied with him materially. So even if she had to fight off mistresses with a big belly after marriage, she felt that this was much happier than marrying a poor man. At least even if there is really no love left in the end, there is still money. Thank you. Su Yuan just nodded slightly in response to Weiwei's praise. His attitude once again made Weiwei extremely jealous. Zhao Qingsu didn't pay much attention to it. Seeing that she was pregnant, she asked, Where is your husband? Oh, don't mention him in front of me now. I don't know which mistress he is with. He gave me 500,000 yuan to come to the wedding, so I came by myself. Weiwei said nonchalantly, touching her belly with a smug look on her face. Anyway, I'm carrying the heir of their family in my belly. Even if he has mistresses outside, he will still have to come home when the time comes. I see. Everyone has different choices. Even if she wants to think this way, Zhao Qingsu won't say anything and just let her have a good rest. After she left, the group entered the presidential suite. Chi-Han dared to speak. Zuer, I always thought that the beauties cultivated by your family's excellent genes were all smart, capable, and well-behaved. Why didn't you tell me that you have such a weird cousin? Jing Tian was not surprised. Do you think everyone in this world can find 100% love? For most people, love is a luxury and interests are eternal. Chi-Han frowned slightly. Then I would rather not have the benefits. You? Jing Tian smiled and said, you will know when you are short of money in the future. Chi-Han retorted, I'm very poor and in need of money right now. Seeing the two of them bickering, Zhao Qingsu covered her mouth and laughed. If you two have time to bicker here, you might as well go move some things for me. Okay, go move your things tilde. Chi-Han was quick to follow the advice and really planned to go. But Zhao Qingsu stopped him and said, we have already found someone to move the things. Do you really want to go? Just come with me to the hotel and have a good look. After saying that, he took Chi-Han and Jing Tian to the hotel swimming pool to have afternoon tea and swim. Su Yuan's here was brought to the island by Li Hao. I'll show you the wedding venue I prepared. How about it? I hope you're not disappointed tilde. Li Hao brought Su Yuan to a terrace by the sea, which was surrounded by lush flowers and trees. Under the flowers and trees was a green lawn with many tables, which were the seats for the guests. A long red carpet extends from the lawn to the platform by the sea. After passing through an arch made of flowers, there is a huge swing, and below the swing is the vast blue waves. Chapter 242, No Need to Bother. Su Yuan thought this place was pretty nice, almost exactly like what Zhao Qingsu had designed. However, he looked at the huge flower swing and asked worriedly, is this swing reliable? What if someone gets thrown out? It's definitely reliable. Did you see that water? I set up a net specially. Even if you fall from this swing, you will be fine. Li Hao jumped in like he was presenting a treasure and pulled out a corner of the net from the water to show Su Yuan. Then he stood up and clapped his hands. Let me tell you, don't underestimate this place because it took me a lot of effort to get all these flowers together. Thanks a lot. Su Yuan was quite satisfied. You have been very busy recently, right? Of course, Li Hao would not say that the team Su Yuan hired was too reliable. Everything he could think of had already been thought of by them. He didn't help at all. He just hung around for a few minutes and then took his little lowly to the beach to bask in the sun and play in the sand. Of course I'm busy. Li Hao nodded and complained. I didn't expect that preparing for a wedding would be so troublesome. I feel that the design of human marriage is really unreasonable. I don't understand why everyone has to do such a troublesome thing. How great it would be if it were me. Look, I have a daughter now, but I don't have so many troubles. You just want to be a father. At first, Li Hao felt a little uncomfortable when he heard the 3 words, happy to be a father. But after being said it many times, he didn't mind anymore. What's wrong with being a father? Why don't you go out and ask around? Even if Yanyan is such a cute daughter, there will be people willing to line up to be a father. It's a pity that it's not their turn. Su Yuan glanced at Li Hao helplessly. Didn't you go to the capital to study? I see you haven't learned anything else, but you've become more and more shameless. Thank you for the compliment. If you want to live a decent life, you have to have some green on your head. As Li Hao spoke, he put a wreath on Su Yuan's head. Su Yuan pulled it off and threw it on his head. This thing is more suitable for you. I guess your wife cheated on you a lot abroad. This made Li Hao unhappy. He jumped up and yelled, that's not my wife, that's. What is that? Li Hao really couldn't figure out what his relationship with that woman was. So when Su Yuan asked him, he was at a loss. He waved his hand. Forget it, let's not talk about this anymore. Come with me, I have something good to show you. Su Yuan followed Li Hao, with some doubts along the gravel road on the island, through a jungle. Not long after, a red color suddenly appeared in front of his eyes. Later, red became more and more common, including red gauze, silk flowers, and red palace lanterns hung everywhere. Passing through these settings, a completely different terrace emerges. There is an antique pavilion on the terrace, with a chaise long and a screen inside, and the sea is on 3 sides. I don't have any seats for guests in this place, so you two can use it for a private date. Li Hao looked at Su Yuan with a smug look on his face. I'm telling you in advance, there will definitely be people with bad intentions who want to force you to drink at the wedding. You'd better be careful and drink less. I will come out to help you block the wine, otherwise your happy life will be over tonight. Seeing how serious he was, Su Yuan said with a half smile, you talk as if you're married. You've never eaten pork, but you've seen a pig run. Li Hao stroked his hair and said, Let me tell you, even though I've never been married, I've attended many weddings because I'm quite handsome. I always played a very important role, best man, you know. Although it is said that a hero does not brag about his past achievements, I still want to tell you that when I was still a sea king, every time I appeared at a wedding, they would tremble in fear, because all the bridesmaids and the bride's eyes were on me. They all had intentions towards me. Li Hao said, pinching the fat on his belly, but it's not possible now. Su Yuan didn't expect that after just 2 months of not seeing him, Li Hao actually had a circle of fat on his belly. He was immediately shocked. What have you been doing for the past 2 months? How did you get so fat? Li Hao complained. Then shouldn't I eat what Yanyan can't finish? Are you fighting with Yanyan for snacks? That's what she left over. Su Yuan looked at Li Hao with admiration. It seems that you have the potential to be a father. Others who take care of their children tend to become thinner and thinner, but you have actually taken yourself out of the swimming circle by taking care of your children. So I want to lose weight. Li Hao went around in circles and finally said his real purpose. Look, although I am very handsome, I will definitely not be able to steal your limelight at your wedding because you are many times more handsome than me. But no matter how handsome I am, I can't embarrass you with my figure, right? Quick, quick, give me 2 weight loss apples to eat. I think I can still be saved. No. After checking that there were no problems with the wedding venue and personnel, Su Yuan and Li Hao returned to the hotel. However, as soon as I walked into the hotel, I saw a golden figure running around in the fountain pool at the entrance. After seeing this, the security guard wanted to go down and catch the dog, but Li Guo was very slippery and he couldn't catch him after trying for a long time. He was so angry that he yelled into the intercom, "How are you doing your job? How did a dog sneak in here? This dog is almost tearing the fountain apart. Can't you see it? Hurry and bring me a dog net." When Su Yuan heard him say that, he walked over and said directly, "Don't bother with that, just let him play here." The security guard was startled by Su Yuan's words, "You." He didn't know Su Yuan, but as soon as he saw Li Hao, he immediately realized that Su Yuan's identity was not simple. Okay. After he finished speaking, he told Li Guo not to bring anyone else over on the intercom, and then he lay down beside the pool and apologized to Li Guo. "I'm sorry, Brother Gu." Su Yuan looked at him with a mixture of laughter and tears. "Is there anyone in your security team who likes dogs?" The security captain was stunned for a moment, not knowing why he asked that, but he still answered honestly, "I don't know if there are any people who like dogs, but I do know 2 people who like to eat dog meat." Su Yuan was silent for a moment. "Forget it, go find me 2 people who like dogs and are close to dogs." "Yes." Although Su Yuan's request was strange, the security guard still did as he instructed. Li Hao also thought his request was strange. "Why do you like dogs?" Chapter 243, you finally get the point. After our wedding begins, I won't have time to take care of Li Guo. I have to find someone to take care of her. I'll give her some money when the time comes. After Su Yuan finished speaking, he prepared to go inside. But before he could take 2 steps, Li Hao grabbed his wrist and said, "What do you think of me? I'm also close to dogs. It's a good job to get paid for taking care of a dog. That definitely means that the benefits will be kept within the family." But just as he finished speaking, he saw Li Guo, who was having fun playing in the water, suddenly jump out of the pool and splash water all over him. Then he came up to Su Yuan in a flattering manner. Su Yuan stroked its head and said, "Don't worry, I won't let Li Hao take you away." Li Hao wiped the water off his face angrily. "Hey, how did you understand what he said?" "That's how I taught you to speak when you were little." "Good." As the 2 were talking, they had already walked into the hotel lobby. People were checking in one after another and were going through the check-in procedures under the guidance of the front desk staff. As soon as they saw Su Yuan and Li Hao come in, the staff greeted them in unison. The couple checking in were a middle-aged couple. They looked unfamiliar and Su Yuan didn't know them either. They should be distant relatives of Zhao Qingsu. When they heard the staff address Su Yuan as Mr. Su and treated him with such respect, they immediately understood his identity and came up to greet Su Yuan awkwardly. "Mr. Su, we are Qingsu's uncle and aunt." "Oh, it's my uncle and aunt. You came from so far away, it must be tiring to take the plane." Since they were relatives of Zhao Qingsu, Su Yuan smiled and started greeting them. It's not hard. Your uncle and I have been doing business outside for many years, and we are used to running around. We put aside our work to come to Qingsu's wedding this time. We have nothing on our minds, so we won't feel tired no matter where we go. Besides, the hotel conditions here are so good." Seeing that Su Yuan was so easygoing, the couple started chatting with him. Su Yuan listened and smiled. Well, if there is anything that is not well taken care of, just ask the staff. The staff here are all very nice. Li Hao is a man who, although he looks careless, actually does things in a proper manner. He has thought of the staff's matters in advance. Now the staff working here can all speak Chinese, so there will be no difficulty in communication. Good. Zhao Qingsu's uncle narrowed his eyes and looked at Su Yuan seriously. When Qingsu was little, I took Qingsu to the amusement park. There was a fortune teller at the entrance of the amusement park. He said that Qingsu had the fate of a phoenix and would be rich and powerful in the future. I said that the fortune teller was a liar. Now look, the fortune teller is really good. Qingsu is really a very lucky person now. Don't take fortune telling seriously. Just try a few more times and you'll always get it right. Li Hao waved his hand. You too, you came early. You can choose your room. Which floor do you want to stay on? What kind of room do you want? I will arrange it for you. This is the first time for the two of us to stay in such a high-end hotel. As long as we have a room, it doesn't matter where we stay. After Uncle Zhao Qingsu finished speaking, he still wanted to continue getting close to Su Yuan. Su Yuan smiled and said, "You guys check in first, we'll talk later. Don't mention it, getting married is not an easy thing." In the following period of time, guests continued to arrive. They were all friends whom he had not contacted for many years or distant relatives. After they arrived, they would more or less come to see Su Yuan, and Su Yuan had to entertain them. Fortunately, Zhao Qingsu saw that Su Yuan was very tired, so she asked her parents to go and deal with the relatives there. Li Hao was also busy, receiving guests who came to stay, coordinating rooms, arranging dinner, and making jokes. Anyway, he is responsible for all the miscellaneous work. This made Su Yuan less worried. On the night before the wedding, Su Yuan saw that he was so busy that something was wrong and felt a little touched, so he went up to him and wanted to thank him. But Li Hao waved his hand and said, "Stop talking. I know what you want to say, no need to thank me. Compared to taking care of children, these are nothing." Yanyan has now become the apple of the eyes of Zhao Qingsu's parents and Su Yuan's parents. The four elderly people take turns to take care of the little guy every day, and he sleeps with them at night, which saves Li Hao a lot of trouble. Is it really that tiring to take care of a child? Su Yuan sat next to Li Hao and asked with some confusion. Li Hao nodded. Of course it is. I tell you, it is better to have a boy because he is more durable. Look at Yanyan, she is so delicate and tender. I hold her in my mouth for fear that she will melt, and I hold her in my hands for fear that she will fall. Even if a nanny takes care of her, I still cannot rest assured. I have to pay attention to her all the time for fear that she will suffer any grievances. I can't be distracted for a moment. But I also want to have a daughter. Su Yuan listened to his complaints and said this. Oh my God, brother, I mean you didn't listen to me at all after I said so much. Li Hao gave him a displeased look. Su Yuan ignored him. He spoke as if he had never taken care of a child when he was a child. He is 3 years older than Su Yao, which is a very delicate age. Although it is not a lot, every time he sees Su Yao, who is as soft, white, and cute as a little dumpling, he can't help but feel a sense of pride and responsibility. Since childhood, he knew that this was his sister. He took her to school and home from school, combed her hair, fed her, and bought her delicious food. He comforted her when she was wronged, and secretly fought with those who bullied her. She couldn't do her homework, so he explained it to her over and over again in the middle of the night. Seeing that she just couldn't learn, he cried in frustration, feeling distressed and helpless. If he had a daughter, it would be the same, right? However, he will raise her together with Zhao Qingsu, etc. Thinking of this, Su Yuan suddenly reacted. I think what you said makes sense. I still want to give birth to a boy. Look, you finally got it. Li Hao was very pleased when he saw Su Yuan changed his mind. He stood up and patted his shoulder. Don't worry, I said all these things for your own good. How can I harm you? Raising a daughter is really tiring. I want to give birth to a boy first, so that he can grow up and protect his sister. After Su Yuan finished speaking, he felt that his idea was perfect. This way I won't be so tired. Li Hao pulled the corner of his mouth. Do you think it's easy to take care of 2 children? I don't know whether it's easy or not, but I'm not like you who don't even have a wife. Chapter 244, Why Think So Much? What's a wife? I just need those beautiful memories of my youth. Then you can live your whole life with those beautiful memories of your youth. Time passed quickly and slowly. Su originally thought that she was going to get married tomorrow, so she should go to bed early today, get some rest, and prepare for tomorrow's wedding. But when he lay down on the bed, he found that he couldn't fall asleep at all. Wedding, this is something he has been looking forward to for a long time. From the first moment he saw Zhao Qingsu, he knew that she was destined to be his wife. the woman who would wear a wedding dress for him. Now 4 years have passed, and he has finally waited for this day. Although there were some minor twists and turns, it is obvious that the result is good. What? Mom, I'm getting married tomorrow. Zhao Qingsu here also couldn't sleep. She couldn't help but get up and talk to her mother. Zhao Qingsu's mother tried on her clothes very calmly. After hearing what she said, she asked without even turning her head, "Aren't you already married?" To be honest, Zhao Qingsu finally understood why girls look forward to weddings so much. Although a wedding is just a process in some sense, the marriage certificate is the legal process of a true marriage. But when she and Su Yuan got the marriage certificate, she was so determined that she only thought that after getting the certificate, she and Su Yuan would be together forever. Even if her mother objected, it was too late. She and Su Yuan rushed directly to the Civil Affairs Bureau to take photos, fill in the information, and get the marriage certificate in one go, as if it happened naturally. There seemed to be no other emotion in her heart except joy and happiness. But she had prepared for the wedding for so long in advance. But on the day before the wedding, she still felt extremely nervous and even panicked. I don't know why. No wonder people say that life needs a sense of ritual. Sure enough, if she hadn't gone through this wedding, she would have thought that she and Su Yuan were already an old married couple and wouldn't be nervous anymore. She only now realized that she was still nervous and anxious. This feeling was just like the eve of her first date with Su Yuan, when she tossed and turned and couldn't sleep at all, with his voice, smile, and every move filling her mind. Why think so much? Go to sleep. After Zhao Qingsu's mother changed her clothes, she turned around and found that she was still in a daze. She couldn't help but go to the bed and push her. Zhao Qingsu lay down helplessly. Zhao Qingsu's mother turned off the lights and lay down with her. Then she touched her hand in the quilt and said, "This time, it is probably the last time you and your mother sleep together. You are officially married and you will be Yuanyuan's wife in the future. I know you are obedient, sensible, and well-behaved, and Yuanyuan has a good personality. I don't have to worry about you quarreling, but the moon waxes and wanes, and people have misfortunes and blessings every day. If you are wronged in the future, you can go back to your parents' home. I, your mother, will raise you the same way I raised you before." Mom. Most of the time, her mother spoke in a very strong voice and rarely spoke in such a sentimental way. Zhao Qingsu was really moved by what she said. But before she could even feel touched, she heard her continue. "You are so pretty anyway. I can keep you for 2 years and find you a rich family." Mom, thank you so much in advance. What are you thanking me for? You are my daughter. What? When a red light appeared on the sea, Li Hao rushed to Su Yuan's room, dug him out of bed, and called a group of stylists and costume designers to dress him and do his hair. When Su Yuan was at home, Zhao Qingsu was responsible for taking care of his appearance. Zhao Qingsu felt that a man should be clean and fresh, so apart from slight modifications, she never put any effort into his hair and makeup. But my goodness, as soon as he sat down, the makeup artist tried to put powder on his face. He grabbed the makeup artist's wrist and said, "Isn't that necessary for a man like me?" "Yes, yes. Although you have good skin, if you don't touch it up, you will look bad in front of the camera. I will apply a thin layer on you to achieve a brightening effect." Li Hao, who was standing by, was busy making arrangements on the phone while smiling and saying, "I hired the best makeup artist for you. He charges by the hour, more than 100,000 yuan an hour. Hurry up and do your makeup, don't waste your money. Hundreds of thousands an hour, you really have the heart to do this. Isn't this for you?" Although somewhat reluctant, Su Yuan still sat there obediently and let others toss him around. About half an hour later, he stood in front of the mirror, looked at himself, and was stunned for a moment. The man in front of him looked different from his usual lazy and noble appearance. He was meticulously dressed from head to toe. The long, neat black eyebrows reached the temples, and the phoenix eyes beneath the eyebrows were cold and noble. He curled the corners of his mouth in the mirror, and even suspected that the person in front of him was not himself. This guy is simply like a man who walked out of a painting, and it's the kind with soft light and refined beauty level 10. There is not a single flaw to be seen. To be honest, Zhao Qingsu usually cleaned him up, but never to such an extreme degree. He touched his face, which was as smooth as a peeled egg without even a pore visible. "By the way, how thick is the powder you put on?" Although he would apply layer after layer of makeup on Zhao Qingsu, he rarely tried it on himself. The makeup artist was very proud. "Mr. Su, your skin is well maintained. You must pay attention to your diet and skin care, right? Under other people's hands, you would probably apply 3 or 4 layers of makeup, but I only applied a thin layer of primer and setting makeup for you. It looks pretty good, right? The effect seems to be quite good, but I hope I won't lose fans by then. You don't have to doubt my professionalism. If I lose followers, I will return the money to you without charging you a cent. That's not necessary. After Su Yuan finished speaking, he stretched out his hand and asked someone to put on a white suit jacket and tie for him. The makeup artist was watching carefully from the side. Be careful, don't touch his face, otherwise you will have to reapply your makeup. After about an hour of preparation, when Su Yuan had packed up, Li Hao received the news and ran over to take him to the wedding scene. But he was stunned as soon as he walked in. Fuck, I didn't realize you had so much potential. I used to think our looks were about the same, but now it seems like there's a big gap. No, maybe it's just the difference of a makeup artist. After he finished speaking, he pulled the makeup artist and pointed at his face. Teacher, do you think my face can be saved? I also want to be more handsome. Chapter 245, Being a Principled Person. The makeup artist glanced at him and said, You've tanned yourself so dark that there's no hope. Your skin is still so rough. You need to apply at least 8 or 10 layers of makeup. I just saved a little bit. Then go find my apprentice. Depend on. Li Hao had already arranged the personnel for the wedding venue, so after Su Yuan arrived, he basically didn't have to worry about anything. He just had to wait for Zhao Qingsu to arrive and then start the wedding ceremony. Soon it was 8 o'clock. The guests came to the island in groups by cruise ship. They originally thought that the island was a very barren place, but when they arrived on the island, they found that it was full of flowers, lush trees, and water, and the climate was moist and gentle, which made people feel relaxed and happy. It was even better than the fairyland of Taoyuan. Wow, this place is so beautiful, isn't it? I really want to get married here in the future. Don't think too much. We are lucky enough to come to a place like this once. Do you still want to get married here? What's wrong? I have a boyfriend and I can think about it, but you don't even have a boyfriend. In such a crowded and noisy place, it is certainly impossible for all exchanges to be friendly. Basically, the guests who arrived early in the morning were all relatives from Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu's hometown. After arriving, they wandered around and sighed, and then pulled Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu's parents to chat. Although there were occasional bickers, the atmosphere on the island instantly became lively. Look at the two women bickering over there. A teenager next to them shook his head and said, Honestly, if I were a man, I wouldn't marry either of these two women. If you were a man, what's wrong? Is there something wrong? I'm a boy now. The people around were amused by the boy's words. If you don't want to marry such a beautiful sister, then what kind of sister do you want to marry? Then I will definitely marry someone who is gentle, virtuous, and generous like my bride. You want to be more beautiful than that woman. A man next to him glanced at him and said, She is gentle, virtuous, generous, and beautiful. Why should I marry you? I think you should work hard and find a rich woman in the future. When the boy's mother heard what the man said, she immediately spat. Zhang Liu, you are idle all day long and do nothing. Don't teach the child bad things. The man was not convinced. Why don't you ask him if he thinks it's a good idea to find a rich woman? After hearing the man's words, almost everyone's eyes fell on the young man. The young man was calm and composed. A person must have principles. You can't possibly give up money just for a little dignity, right? So as long as a rich woman likes me, I will not only provide for her in her old age, but also send her off after she dies. His words immediately made everyone burst into laughter. But he was slapped on the head soon. Your mother is a lawyer after all. How could I give birth to such a shameless son like you? If you read more books, you will know that the current laws are very perfect. You think that you can inherit the estate of the rich woman after she dies. That's wishful thinking. After she finished speaking, she still felt very angry, as if a breath was stuck in her chest and couldn't go up or down. She glared at her husband beside her fiercely. Did you have an affair outside? This child is not your own, right? Her husband was inexplicably bombarded and spread his hands innocently. I don't know if he is my biological child, but he is definitely your biological child. All right, everyone please return to your seats. Our wedding is about to officially begin. Li Hao stood on the stage, holding the microphone, and began to mobilize people. Everyone then returned to their seats. But they soon found new topics. Oh my God, what is the identity of this groom? Not to mention that he is rich, but he actually knows so many big stars. I saw Lin Kinner and a few of them. They are so beautiful. It's not just the big stars. Have you seen Wang Kong? Isn't he the son of the richest man? Why is he here too? Wow, it's really Wang Kong. Haha, I feel like he's just like that. He's sitting right there. Please speak softly. Most of Zhao Qingsu and Su Yuan's relatives are ordinary people, and most of them have never seen any celebrities. So when they saw a celebrity appear here, it caused a small sensation, and many people came up to the little celebrities and asked them for autographs. It was Li Hao who finally calmed them down by changing their seats and calling security. After all the guests had arrived and everyone had taken their seats, Su Yuan walked onto the stage. Originally, he went on stage just to casually express some thoughts about today's wedding, but he didn't expect that as soon as he came on stage, the audience suddenly became agitated. Isn't that Luo Zai? Are you blind? How could that be Luo Zai? He's much more handsome than Luo Zai, it must be Yang Yang. That's the groom, the groom, the groom. When several girls saw Su Yuan appear, they thought he was a star because they were sitting far away, and they almost jumped up and ran over to ask for his autograph. However, Li Hao quickly grabbed it in the first place. Li Hao winked at Su Yuan on the stage, asking him to speak quickly. Su Yuan finally spoke. I didn't expect everyone to be so enthusiastic. First of all, thank you all for taking the time out of your busy schedule to attend Kingsu and I's wedding. It hasn't been easy for Kingsu and I to come this far. Our 4-year relationship can finally blossom and bear fruit in front of everyone's witness. I'm really excited right now. His voice was clear and gentle, and it reached every corner of the room through the microphone. Fuck, this is so handsome, I am about to cry. If I can be the protagonist of this wedding, I would be willing to die in the next second. You're going a bit too far. Kingsu is your cousin. Kingsu is so happy, isn't she? When I get married in the future, I want to marry someone like Su Yuan. After the girls below accepted the fact that Su Yuan was not their idol, they immediately started to admire Su Yuan's looks. I don't know what he was thinking about. His face was full of excitement. At this moment, the sound of a helicopter was heard from afar. When everyone heard the sound, they all looked curiously in the direction of the helicopter. Then I saw a white helicopter flying over the sea in the distance. What is that, so beautiful? As the helicopter approached, suddenly countless red rose petals fell from the sky, as if it was raining roses. Everyone was stunned by this dreamy scene, and couldn't help but reach out to catch the falling rose petals. Chapter 246, I'm a little afraid of heights. Should I really go down? I'm a little afraid of heights. Early in the morning, Jing Tian and Qi Han dug Zhao Qingsu out of bed and put her into makeup and change into her wedding dress. Then I was put on a private plane. She originally thought that the private plane was a means of transportation to the island, and that she would be safely dropped off on the island. But who knows, Qi Han just told her to jump down from here. She was still wearing her wedding dress. She's even wearing high heels. And it's so high, if she jumps down, she will turn into a meat pie. What should she do? Who came up with this bad idea? Zhao Qingsu held up her skirt. She no longer had the heart to appreciate the beautiful scenery on the island. All she wanted to do was strangle the person who came up with this bad idea. Could it be Li Hao? Qi Han covered his mouth and laughed. You think too much. Li Hao has a stupid brain. He is good at picking up girls, so how could he come up with such a good idea? Of course it was your Su Yuan who thought of it. Should I really jump down? Zhao Qingsu covered her face and looked down. The helicopter was getting closer and closer to the ground. The ladder has also been lowered by the driver. Okay, stop teasing Qingsu. How could you possibly let her jump down? Jing Tian smiled gently and helped Zhao Qingsu tidy up her clothes and hair. Just wait. When Zhao Qingsu was puzzled, she saw Su Yuan climbing up the ladder below. Wow, getting married can be fun like this. This is too dangerous. If you're not careful, you could end up paralyzed. But it's so dreamy and beautiful. Under the gaze of everyone, Su Yuan quickly came in front of Zhao Qingsu and extended his hand towards him. You. When Zhao Qingsu saw Su Yuan today, she was stunned for a moment. And at the moment when she was stunned, Su Yuan had already moved forward, hugged her soft waist, and then carried her into the air. Suddenly, among the flying rose petals, the soft and fluffy wedding dress skirt like swan feathers also fell down, beautiful like a grand bloom of epiphyllum. The people below were stunned. Are you afraid? Su Yuan looked at Zhao Qingsu's gentle eyes and smiled softly in her ear. Zhao Qingsu shook her head. I'm not afraid anymore. To be honest, she was scared the moment Su Yuan pulled her down. But now, feeling his strong arms around her waist and hearing his familiar voice, she suddenly calmed down. Birth, old age, sickness, and death. As long as I am with him, there is nothing to be afraid of. That's good. Su Yuan exerted force, held the ladder with one hand and walked down a few steps. When he was only 2 meters away from the ground, he jumped out directly. He did not forget to change his posture while jumping, and held Zhao Qingsu in his arms with both hands. Oh, I was so scared. I was so afraid they would fall. Su Yuan is really handsome. Those idols who are effeminate are so weak. This guy is a real man, okay? This is a wedding. When the two men landed, the people below finally breathed a sigh of relief, followed by thunderous applause. No matter whether they felt jealous or envious before, now they only have blessings for Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu. Wife, it has been 1,369 days since we first met. During these more than 1,000 days and nights, I have never doubted for a moment that you would not be my wife. Su Yuan stared at Zhao Qingsu quietly, with a smile on his lips, and spoke slowly. Awo, woof. As soon as he finished speaking, Li Gu over there also received the order and ran over from the red carpet. Its fur was golden and smooth, with a red bow around its neck. When it ran closer, it suddenly spit out something from its mouth into Su Yuan's hand. Su Yuan took out the toilet paper he had prepared in advance from his pocket and wiped the saliva off its mouth. Only then did everyone and Zhao Qingsu see clearly what it was. It was a round crystal ball the size of an egg, emitting beautiful, colorful light in the sun. So beautiful, Zhao Qingsu couldn't help but exclaimed, and was about to take the crystal ball from Su Yuan's hand. But the next second, she saw Su Yuan touch something and squeezed it lightly, and the crystal ball exploded. Then all that was left was a ring. The style is much simpler than the one I bought for Zhao Qingsu before, but the pear-shaped, fancy, intense pink diamond in the center of the ring setting exudes a bright and dazzling light. As soon as they saw the diamond, everyone below was stunned. So beautiful! Where can I buy diamonds like this? I've never seen such a beautiful ring. When the girls below saw the diamond, their eyes were filled with fascination and envy, and they wished that the diamond was theirs. Even Jing Tian, who got off the plane later, gasped, "This is the Eye of the Moon." Chi-Han only knew that the ring was beautiful, but she didn't know that the ring had a name. She asked in confusion, "What brand is this ring from? How come I have never seen this style before?" Speaking of which, the diamond cut of this ring is also a bit confusing. This is the first time I have seen a pear-shaped diamond ring. No, I didn't mean the name of the ring. I meant the name of the pink diamond. Jing Tian looked at the pink diamond with eyes full of sighs. The Eye of the Moon is the most perfect natural diamond that Janus, the former largest diamond merchant, spent a lifetime of hard work to find. It is said to be formed from the tears of the legendary goddess of beauty, Mitsipes, so it was named the Eye of the Moon. However, after Janus died, the diamond disappeared. The last time it appeared was at a private auction, where it was bought by a mysterious tycoon for a whopping 300 million yuan. Is the origin so complicated? Chi-Han was a little confused. Did you recognize the wrong person? That mysterious rich man can't be Su Yuan. Of course not him. That auction was 15 years ago. Jing Tian stared at the pink diamond. Although I don't know how he got this moon eye, I bet I'm definitely not mistaken, because I have seen pictures of the moon eye many times. Its color and cut are very special. There will never be another diamond exactly like the moon eye in the world. It was worth 300 million 15 years ago. Chi-Han counted on his fingers and said in shock, "Then the price of this diamond has at least increased several times now. It must be more than 1 billion. No, you think too much. I also think I'm overthinking it. Inflation isn't that severe. I estimate it's only worth 700 to 800 million now." Jing Tian glanced at Chi-Han, who was still counting on his fingers, and said slowly, "It's priceless now." Chapter 247, How long have you been preparing? So, are you willing to marry me and be my bedmate for the rest of my life? Su Yuan put the ring in front of Zhao Qingsu with a gentle smile. Zhao Qingsu nodded, "Of course I am willing." As she spoke, she stretched out her white and tender hand. Su Yuan gently held her hand and put the ring on her ring finger. The applause from below was still thunderous. Seeing that the atmosphere was almost right, Li Hao was just about to go on stage to liven up the mood and start the next wedding segment, when he saw Zhao Qingsu taking out a box from behind her like a magician. Compared to Su Yuan's crystal ball, the box in her hand looked much more ordinary, just a black velvet ring box. "This is..." Unexpectedly, she also prepared a ring for him. Su Yuan asked in surprise, "How long have you been preparing?" "About half a month." Zhao Qingsu opened the box and saw a platinum and diamond Cuban-style ring. The ring looks simple, but the patterns created by the tiny diamonds inlaid in the details are exquisite and complex, revealing a sense of low-key luxury. "Mr. Su, can I use this ring to capture your heart forever?" She picked up the ring and looked up at him, with tiny stars in her eyes. Su Yuan nodded heavily, "Of course." Then I'll put it on you." I took his hand carefully and put the ring on his finger. It was the perfect size. "Tusk, it makes my teeth hurt." Amid the applause from below, Wang Kong clapped his hands, covered his cheeks, and complained to Qin Fen and others beside him. Qin Fen nodded in agreement. Me too. They are already an old married couple, but they are still so affectionate. The saying that heroes can only be tempted by beautiful women is really true. Although this group of people seem to only know how to play all day long, they are actually over 30 years old. Most people are single, and some are forced to get married by their families. A wedding is just a formality. There's no need for so much sweet talk. Therefore, several people could not quite understand Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu. You men just play too much and let your hearts go wild. Young Master Su is clean and pure. How can you compare? The lady who was brought to the same table by someone unknown was looking at Zhao Qingsu with envy. She is really lucky. What do you mean by good fortune? Are you envious of others? When her husband saw her like that, he snorted with disdain. I'm not bad to you, your husband, am I? You women just don't know how to appreciate the blessings you have. These love stories are all fake. Only a simple and ordinary life is real. That doesn't make sense to you. The lady was furious at what her husband said. Everyone burst into laughter. The main thing is that everyone assumes that what her husband said is correct. Where does so much love come from in the world? It is just a momentary impulse. After a long time, the passion will fade away and everything will be gone. Chen Zifeng stood up and chuckled. Just because you guys don't believe in love doesn't mean love doesn't exist. I do believe that young Master Su and Madam Su are truly in love. Tusk, you're just too young. When you reach our age in 2 years, you'll realize how childish what you say now is. Chen Zifeng smiled and said nothing. Su Yao, who was sitting next to him, secretly pulled his sleeve under the table and gave him a thumbs up. Why are you still sitting here? Today is your brother and sister-in-law's wedding. You should go and bless them. Because Wang Kong and others are in the imperial capital, Su Yao is also in the imperial capital. Su Yuan felt uneasy about letting Su Yao come to the wedding alone, so he told Wang Kong to bring Su Yao along when he came. Chen Zifeng happened to be there, and that's how the two got to know each other. Although Wang Kong and his friends were very polite to Su Yao because she was Su Yuan's sister, they were in different circles after all, so they couldn't find any common topics along the way. When Wang Kong saw that this guy looked a lot like Chen Zifeng, he left Chen Zifeng to take care of Su Yao. The two of them had a very happy chat along the way. After arriving at the wedding, Su Yao simply sat at the same table with Chen Zifeng. Don't you see my brother and sister-in-law are having a good time? I'll just be a light bulb if I go there. I might as well just sit here. Chen Zifeng chuckled. You children are so willful. I'm not a kid anymore, I'm in my 20s. When Su Yao heard Chen Zifeng say that she was a child, she quickly refuted, then took out her mobile phone and hesitated for a moment. You have taken good care of me along the way. Otherwise, you can leave me your contact information, and I can help you if you need any help later. You are a little girl. What can I ask you for help with? Chen Zifeng didn't move. Don't think so much. Su Yao was anxious. There are many things I can do, such as... She thought about it, but really couldn't think of any way she could help him. Chen Zifeng looked at her with a smile. Su Yao felt that Chen Zifeng's eyes made her feel a little flustered. When she felt flustered, her brain became like a paste, and she couldn't think straight anymore. For example, after holding it in for a long time, Su Yao couldn't figure out what she could do, so she could only force herself to find an excuse. Anyway, I will definitely be useful. You won't suffer any loss if you leave me a contact number. I'm scared of you. Chen Zifeng had no choice but to take out his cell phone from his pocket and asked, VX number. Su Yao happily gave him the number Roman 15. Chen Zifeng quickly searched for a person. His avatar was a chubby and silly cat, which looked both stupid and cute. He paused and said, Your avatar is quite special. I just changed this avatar randomly. When Su Yao heard his words, her heart was beating like a drum. What does he mean when he says his profile picture is special? Doesn't that mean she's special too? It must be like this tilde. According to my observation, girls who use cats as their profile pictures usually have boyfriends. Chen Zifeng put the phone into his pocket and spoke nonchalantly, looking casually at the water cup in front of him. A faint shadow was reflected on the water cup. Of course, Su Yao didn't notice what he was looking at, but was shocked by his words. No, I don't have a boyfriend. Who told you I have a boyfriend? Experience summary. Seeing the little girl almost stuttering due to nervousness, Chen Zifeng's mouth curled up slightly. It seems that my experience is not very accurate. That's definitely not true. You just don't have enough contact with girls. 3 of the 4 of us in the dormitory use cats as our profile pictures. We are all single. Chapter 248. This Lafitte doesn't cost money. After the exchange of rings, it was the turn of the parents of both parties to come on stage and speak. Su Yuan's parents said a few words of blessing and then came down from the stage. Zhao Qingsu's father also only said 2 words. However, Zhao Qingsu's mother spoke non-stop for 5 minutes on the stage. Although there was some boasting in what she said, who could blame her for giving birth to such a promising daughter? No one is too disgusted by it. Zhao Qingsu's eldest and second aunts were extremely envious of Zhao Qingsu's mother. She was bad at everything in her life. She ate everything without leaving any residue. She was the worst at quarreling. The only thing she was most proud of was giving birth to a daughter like Qingsu. Who says it's not true? Qingsu has been beautiful since she was young, and she is also obedient and good at studying. After graduation, she married a good husband. I have to say that she was born to be rich and noble. She can't compare with us. Haha, I'll have to go ask around later to see if the Su family has any other sons or something like that. We have a single daughter in our family. You may be overthinking this. I have already found out that Su Yuan only has a younger sister, Su Yao, who is studying in the capital. I am afraid she would look down on ordinary people like us. What? Now it's finally time for me to speak. After both parents finished their speeches, Li Hao walked onto the stage. Everyone knows that I've been Su Yuan's good brother and comrade for many years. To be honest, when I was in high school, I was dating little girls and brushing up my scores every day, while Brother Yuan was playing games and studying without fail. At that time, I thought that Brother Yuan didn't understand the good of women. Now, I know that no one understands better than him. As for me, I actually don't believe in love, but because of Brother Yuan, I believe in it. So now this handsome guy, the Sea King, has come ashore and is strongly looking for a marriage partner. I hope that after Brother Yuan, the next couple to get married will be us. I will tell you my marriage requirements here. Go, go, go. Before Li Hao could finish his words, Su Yuan chased him off the stage. I'm getting married today. Why are you looking for a marriage partner? Besides, Yan Yan is still sitting in the audience. I just couldn't help being so excited when I saw you were so happy. After the wedding ceremony, the next step was the wedding banquet. Originally, everyone thought that the wedding banquet would be held on the grass, but unexpectedly, Li Hao came on stage, took the microphone and pointed in a direction. I know that we have talked so much, and everyone is hungry, so let's move on to our most anticipated part of the day. Come, everyone, look with me. Do you see the stairs over there? Going down the stairs is where we will eat. Seeing that Li Hao spoke in a mysterious tone, the people below were very confused. Isn't it just a wedding banquet? Why do we have to change the venue? It's too fancy. However, many people regretted their words soon after they said them, the moment they went down the stairs. Fuck, this is too awesome, right? Is this an underwater restaurant? There's actually an underwater restaurant hidden on the island. My God, this island is such a treasure, isn't it? Although there is only a wooden sign at the entrance, and it looks really ordinary, once you walk down the stairs, the scene in front of you suddenly changes. What meets the eye is a blue expanse with waves of varying depths. In the blue, countless beautiful, colorful sea fish swim freely. At first glance, it feels like you have arrived at an underwater kingdom in a fairy tale. Even someone as knowledgeable as Wang Kong didn't expect Su Yuan to be so generous as to build an underwater restaurant. He immediately said, "Young Master Su is young Master Su. He is rich and willful. I stayed in an underwater hotel in Serbia for 2 days before, and it was not as nice as this one. They charged me 50,000 yuan a night. Eating in an underwater restaurant like this, I estimate it will cost at least 100,000 yuan. It's really worth it to come to attend the wedding this time. Hey, eating depends on what you eat. Damn, this Lafitte is free. Haha, Lafitte and the like, in Su Shao's eyes, that's basically the same as free." Wang Kong and his companions found their seats and sat down. After the initial surprise and shock, everyone took out their mobile phones and started taking pictures. Li Hao was busy all morning today and forgot to have breakfast. Thinking that he would have to toast with Su Yuan later, while Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu were changing clothes, he quickly took a plate, picked up 2 pieces of steak and started to eat. But as soon as he took a bite, he felt his trouser leg being bitten. He looked down and saw that it was none other than him. "It's Li Guo. What are you doing? Are you going to take the food from my hand?" Li Hao looked at the meat on his plate and angrily drove the dog away. "Go away, go eat your dog food. Do you think you can eat such a good steak? I am not Brother Yuan, so I will spoil you." "Ow!" Li Guo did not let go of Li Hao and pulled his trouser legs twice. Li Hao was so proud. "I'm wearing a belt today and you still want to pull my pants down? No way." As soon as he finished speaking, he heard a click and 2 holes appeared on his pants. "Wipe." Li Hao was so angry that he said, Li Guo, I will sell you to a dog meat restaurant as soon as the wedding is over to compensate me for my pants. These pants are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. You decide for yourself. After saying that, he angrily put the restaurant aside and lowered his head to check his pants. Li Guo grabbed the steak from his plate and ran away. You've learned to make a feint to the east and attack in the west, huh? I don't care, just give me back the steak. Li Hao chased Li Guo in the hall. The chase between the man and the dog immediately attracted a lot of people's attention, and everyone was amused and laughed. Li Guo walked around twice, and when he saw Li Hao holding his old waist and stopping chasing him, he leisurely spit the steak in his mouth in front of the two little fur balls and let them eat it. Li Hao was shocked. Having just one big dog is troublesome enough. How come there are two small ones? You picked up so many dogs and brought them back. Aren't you afraid of being eaten to death? Su Yao next to him replied with a smile, Pigs bring poverty and dogs bring wealth. Picking up a dog is a blessing. What do you know? Li Guo seemed to understand what Su Yao said, and walked forward and rubbed Su Yao's leg happily. Su Yao touched its big dog head. Oh, so you are Li Guo, who was raised by my brother and sister-in-law. You are so cute. Are those two your children? Li Guo shook his head proudly and pushed Su Yao towards the two little fur balls. The two little white fur balls have been fed so much during this period that they have become so round that their eyes are almost invisible. They are chubby and look very cute. But Su Yao was a little confused. Are all golden retrievers white when they are young? Why don't these two look like Li Guo at all? Chapter 249, Is it fun to tease a dog? Is it fun to tease a dog? Just as Su Yao lowered her head to play with the two little fur balls, two pairs of long legs suddenly appeared in front of her. A pair of white and slender legs, and a pair of straight trousers. She stood up in surprise and looked at the two of them. Brother, sister-in-law, you two are so beautiful, aren't you? Zhao Qingsu's wedding dress had already stunned everyone, and now she had changed into a blue strapless off-shoulder mesh dress that was even more eye-catching. To match her, Su Yuan wore a blue rose corsage. When they appeared, everyone who was watching the school of fish on the field turned their eyes to them, their eyes filled with amazement. You two are like a catwalk. Li Hao also interrupted. No wonder you didn't let me prepare clothes for you. It turns out that they were already prepared. You are so silly. You didn't even say hello to us when you came. I was worried whether you had arrived or not. Su Yuan glared at Su Yao unhappily. Su Yao scratched her head embarrassedly. Brother, you know I'm stupid and can't help with many things. I saw that you were very busy, so I didn't bother you. I was afraid of causing trouble for you. Okay, you're the only one with so many excuses. Su Yuan touched her head and said, Follow me later and block the wine for your sister-in-law. I raise my sister for 1,000 days, but only use her for a moment. It depends on whether you can do the job. Don't worry, brother, I'll take care of this. Su Yao patted her chest, then stared at the bouquet in Zhao Qingsu's arms and asked, Sister-in-law Tilda, this bouquet is so beautiful. Zhao Qingsu did not throw the bouquet at today's wedding, so she must have planned to give the bouquet to someone else directly in private. Does it look good? I tied it myself. Zhao Qingsu smiled slightly. The flowers in her hand were not roses, but magnificent proteas, pink black pepper berries, lively lisianthus, and a few Austin roses interspersed in the bouquet. It was gorgeous and bright, exuding floral and fruity fragrance and very unique. Sister-in-law is really... Su Yao looked at Zhao Qingsu eagerly. Su Yuan saw through her thoughts, of course, and flicked her forehead unhappily. Why do you want it? Such a beautiful flower, of course I want it. What the hell do you want? You don't even have a boyfriend. Su Yuan took Zhao Qingsu to Jing Tian's place, and Zhao Qingsu directly handed the bouquet to Jing Tian. Tianchen, this is for you. Really, thank you. Jing Tian didn't expect that the bouquet was finally left for her. She was very surprised and happily went up to hug Zhao Qingsu. All my friends are either married or don't have a boyfriend. You are the only one who has a boyfriend. I hope the next wedding I can attend is yours. Originally, Zhao Qingsu wanted to leave the bouquet to Qi Han, but she still didn't have a boyfriend, so after much thought, Zhao Qingsu gave the bouquet to Jing Tian. After presenting the bouquet, Su Yuan took Zhao Qingsu to toast at each table. On one hand, everyone was afraid of Su Yuan's identity and did not dare to urge him to drink too much. On the other hand, Li Hao helped to share the burden. After a round of drinking, Su Yuan was only slightly drunk. Okay, now it's time for you two to spend some time together. Leave this to me. The guests were having a great time, and Li Hao winked at the two of them. Thanks a lot. Su Yuan patted Li Hao's shoulder, took Zhao Qingsu, and said he wanted to change clothes. then turned around and left. Zhao Qingsu was a little confused. Hey, what are you doing? Don't ask so many questions, just follow me. Pulling Zhao Qingsu out of the restaurant, Su Yuan took her directly into the depths of the jungle. Wow, I didn't expect there is such a place. Su Yuan didn't expect that Li Hao made 2 wedding scenes, and Zhao Qingsu naturally didn't expect it either. She was looking at the pavilion and palace lanterns not far away and was very happy. But Su Yuan quickly pulled her back, and under her puzzled gaze, he squatted down and gently took off her pair of high heels. You must be tired after walking for so long. Since there is no one else here, let's take off our shoes. Well, okay, then you have to take off your shoes too, tilde tilde. Not to mention, it's really tiring to walk around in high heels all the time. The two took off their shoes, walked on the wooden floor and came to the pavilion. 2, 4 or 5 refreshing side dishes, rice, and sobering pear soup had already been prepared on the table in the pavilion. Zhao Qingsu, who had not eaten anything since morning and only drank some wine, sat down in surprise, and then stretched without any scruples. The sea breeze blew towards us, and the bells on the palace lanterns rang with the wind. I didn't expect marriage could be so comfortable, tilde tilde. She picked up the bowl and started eating. Maybe because she didn't sleep well last night and was too tired today. She felt that these side dishes were particularly delicious. Su Yuan watched her eat, picked up the bowl, and gave her a piece of food with chopsticks. Eat slowly. After they finished their meal in the pavilion, they hugged each other and took a comfortable nap for a while, then got up and continued to enjoy their own world. It was not until the end of the wedding banquet that Zhao Qingsu lazily got up, changed her clothes, and went to the door to see the guests off. You two finally came out. Where were you hiding in your world of 2? The first to come out were Wang Kong and others. They also thought that today was a good day for Su Yuan to get married, so they must not go home until they were drunk and have a few drinks with him. As a result, he just went through the motions and disappeared. He appears now full of energy. Who knows, he might be hiding somewhere and having a good time. What a cunning guy. Su Yuan chuckled. I'll have a good drink with you guys later, just let me go at my wedding today. That's right, my sister-in-law is so beautiful, tilde tilde. Okay, you think you can look down on my sister-in-law? While the few people were joking, Zhao Qingsu personally handed the souvenirs she had prepared to them. A few people took the gifts and thought the gift box was very beautiful. They thanked the gift box and left. People came out one after another to say goodbye. Some people left after receiving the gifts, while a few opened the gifts on the spot. After they opened it, they found that the gift was a 9-grid box. The 8 surrounding grids were filled with various exquisite chocolates, candies, beautiful ornaments, etc., and in the center was an apple. Why is there only one apple? Someone grumbled in disappointment. It should have been more chocolate. Apples aren't worth anything these days. This apple is no ordinary apple. Some people were disappointed, while others were pleasantly surprised. This is the weight loss apple that is very popular online these days. Chapter 250, this is a rich person's wedding. The weight loss apples in Su Yuan Orchard are now extremely popular after Jing Tian's unintentional promotion. The phone of his farm stay is on the verge of being blown up every day, and very few people can make reservations. In addition, there is a rule that apples cannot be taken out of the farm stay, and these apples are not available on the market, so the value of the weight loss apples has increased several times, and now the price is comparable to gold. There is even a rich man who said that if anyone can get this apple for him, he will pay 1 million for each. However, it is not available for sale on the market at all, so it would be useless even if he spent 10 million to buy it. Oh, so this is the weight loss apple. The man in front of him didn't take the words slimming apple seriously. He flicked his hair and said with disdain, "You are too unsophisticated, aren't you? Someone has already developed this kind of slimming apple. It's available on the market now, and it's very cheap, only 500 yuan per pound, which means only 100 yuan per apple on average. Impossible. I remember that this weight loss apple is only available at Mr. Su's farmhouse. What's impossible? If he can figure it out, others can't." The two walked further and further away as they talked, and were about to board the cruise ship. But they were stopped by Su Yuan. Su Yuan politely stood not far from the two of them and asked softly, "Excuse me, can I bother you for a moment?" The two women were mesmerized by Su Yuan's eyes and tone. But when I thought about the bad things I had just said about the farm stay, I felt a little guilty. What's going on? I want to ask about the weight loss apple." In fact, the two people's voices were not very loud, so Zhao Qingsu did not hear them. The main reason why Su Yuan could hear them was that, after he had undergone the body tempering rewarded by the system, his physical fitness in all aspects had been qualitatively improved. Now his vision, hearing, and sense of smell are more than 10 times that of an ordinary person. Well, we were just chatting. The two did not expect that Su Yuan had heard their conversation. They panicked and tried to make amends. It was just a joke, don't take it seriously. That's not what I meant. I just heard you say that someone has also developed an apple that can help you lose weight, right? Su Yuan has seen the principle of the weight loss apple. It is a product that is hundreds of years beyond the current technological level, and it is impossible for anyone else to research it. So he came over and asked out of curiosity. The woman who first talked about this matter still felt very guilty. I saw it on the news, but I don't know the details. Yeah, okay, thank you. Judging from the looks of the two of them, they didn't seem to know much, so Su Yuan let them go. Oh my God, so handsome. From a distance, you can see a 360-degree angle of beauty. From a close distance, he's even more handsome. I felt like my heart was about to jump out of my chest when I was talking to him. I'm so jealous of Kingsu. After watching Su Yuan walk away, the two finally breathed a sigh of relief, but after the sigh of relief, they were followed by starry eyes. What? Is this a rich person's wedding? It's not the Beauty and the Beast combination I thought it was. What should I do? I feel so unbalanced now. This is the wedding of my dreams. No, the male lead is even more handsome than in my dreams. I don't know who uploaded the video of the wedding to the internet. It became a hot search almost instantly. It wasn't long before it was revealed that the male and female protagonists of the wedding were Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu. Because of her marriage, Zhao Qingsu didn't play with her mobile phone for a whole day. When she was free at night and touched her mobile phone, the message on it almost made her phone crash. Qingsu, did you see the trending searches? You're famous. Zuer, I love your wedding too. Qingsu, happy wedding. Almost everyone on my list sent me blessings, even those I don't usually contact. She politely replied to the messages one by one, and then opened the trending search. It really is a short clip from my wedding video. However, it may be due to the shooting angle and the phone. The picture is not perfect. At first, Zhao Qingsu had no plan to post her wedding video, but she didn't expect netizens to talk about her wedding so much, and her fans were also urging her to release the wedding video. She simply edited the video taken by a professional videographer at her wedding and posted it on her personal homepage. When they saw the beautiful wedding scene, everyone was stunned. Where is this? There is an underwater restaurant. My husband and I are getting married too, Zuer. We want to go to the place where you got married. Can you tell me the place? Almost the moment they saw the island and the underwater restaurant, most people subconsciously thought that the venue for Zhao Qingsu and Su Yuan's wedding was rented. Therefore, many people asked Zhao Qingsu to reveal the location of the wedding. Zhao Qingsu was also helpless. I'm sorry, this is my husband's private island, and it's not available for rent to anyone yet. What, a private island? Is this true or false? Impossible. There is such a luxurious underwater restaurant on the private island. Or are the wedding and wedding banquet held in two places? When they heard that the island where Zhao Qingsu would hold her wedding was a private island, many people felt like their dreams were shattered. But I still hold out hope and want to book an underwater restaurant. After all, it's really beautiful tilde. Who doesn't want their wedding to be so beautiful and dreamy? The rent might be a bit expensive, but for the sake of the wedding effect, they gritted their teeth and decided to tighten their belts for a while. But Zhao Qingsu's answer was still cruel. Well, the underwater restaurant is on the private island, it's not separate. Fuck, how much does a private island like this cost? I thought only the wealthy people in the movies had private islands. Do Chinese people have private islands too? I'm confused. Qingsu, Brother Yuan is so rich, why do you still want to live with him in a big flat? Of course you should live in a villa, the kind with many housekeepers and servants. You don't have to do anything every day, just lie down and be served, eat, drink, and have fun. Damn, I'm going to have sex just thinking about this kind of life. The comments below immediately started to fantasize about the lives of rich people. Zhao Qingsu almost rolled over on the bed laughing so hard. But after she finished laughing, she still replied seriously. Although that kind of life sounds good, I think cooking, DIY furniture, gardening, and doing housework are also things I like. Life is your own. It's okay to be lazy occasionally, but it's boring to be lazy all the time. Chapter 251, Don't Get Angry Easily. After the wedding was over, the internet was abuzz with news about it for a while. However, the internet has a good memory and a short forgetfulness. As soon as the national day ended, The topic and discussion brought about by this wedding gradually decreased and was slowly replaced by other news. Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu spent 7 days happily playing on the island with their family, Li Gu, and their 3 dogs during the National Day. However, once the National Day is over, the things that need to be dealt with still need to be dealt with. After he returned to Shanghai on a private plane, he asked Zhao Qingsu to take Li Gu and the others to him, and he drove to the farmhouse. Because the farmhouse was so popular and he had plenty of money, he simply bought all the surrounding land and doubled the area of the farmhouse. He used half of it to continue planting fruit trees. The other half is the development of some special farm stay projects. In addition, some people smelled business opportunities and opened restaurants, private kitchens, and homestays near the farm stays, and this place became more and more lively. Of course, liveliness is good, but sometimes there are some disadvantages. For example, the fruit trees planted by Su Yuan inevitably attracted the covetousness of many people. In fact, after his fruit trees became popular, many people approached him privately to cooperate with him or wanted to spend money to buy his fruit trees. Some people even wanted to buy his fruit trees for research. However, Su Yuan was not short of money, so he rejected all those who came to him. Some people may be angry and embarrassed, so they have evil thoughts. Mr. Su, you are here. You are here just in time. We have some things that need your attention. After the farm stay became popular, someone was needed to manage it. So later Su Yuan recruited a lot of people. The current person in charge is surnamed Li, a very amiable middle-aged man in his 40s. He manages the order in the farmhouse in perfect order, and nothing serious has happened in such a long time. But it was obvious that he was frowning this time, because he encountered a problem that he could not solve. "What's up?" Su Yuan walked in and looked around the farmhouse. He hasn't been here for a while, and the environment of the farmhouse has become better. The air is filled with the fragrance of flowers and fruits, which is refreshing. "It's like this." Person in charge Li explained the whole story. It turned out that the guests who had made reservations in advance came early this morning. He was going to entertain those guests as usual, but who knew that those guests did not appreciate it and started finding all kinds of faults in the farmhouse early in the morning. Sometimes he complained that the place was too small. Sometimes he complained that the food in the farmhouse was not tasty enough. And sometimes he complained that the staff here were clumsy and could not serve people. It's obvious that this group of people are here to cause trouble. Manager Li was thinking about opening a business from the beginning, and harmony was the most important thing, so he tried his best to meet their requirements. But I didn't expect that it would make them even worse. Now people say that the orchard and the farm stay is just a gimmick to deceive people. People are heading towards the orchard and cannot be stopped. If Su Yuan hadn't come over at this moment, person in charge Li would have called the police. "Is that so? Come with me and take a look. I want to see what these people are doing." After hearing what Li said, Su Yuan's expression was indifferent and he went straight towards the orchard. When he reached the boundary of the orchard, he could hear the sound of a group of men acting recklessly from afar. "I don't think this apple is anything special. It's just like an ordinary apple. The taste is not that good. Why is it sold for 50,000 yuan each? This is simply deceiving consumers." "That's right, selling this kind of lousy apple for 50,000 yuan each. How shameless." Looking from a distance, I saw several men picking fruits in the orchard and throwing them on the ground wastefully. The staff nearby was also very helpless when seeing this scene. "Gentlemen, we have clearly marked the prices here. It is consensual. We have informed you of the prices in advance and there is no deception. So you have to pay for the apples you picked, so please don't waste them." The guests who had come to the farmhouse before had never been so unreasonable. "What? I picked it and took a bite and you're charging me. Isn't it too dark here?" Upon hearing what the staff said, several big men immediately surrounded them. "Do you know who I am? You dare to charge me like this? I think you don't want to do this business anymore." After saying that, he rolled up his sleeves, looking like he was ready to fight. "Sir, I've told you before that as long as you pick the fruit, it is assumed that you bought it. Can you say that again?" When the big man heard what the staff said, he went straight up and grabbed him by the collar. "Everyone, we are here to have fun, not to get angry. So if you want to pick apples, just pick them and don't get angry easily." It seemed that the staff were about to fight with several big men. Su Yuan also came out and said lightly. Several big men were attracted by Su Yuan's voice and looked towards him with suspicion. "Who are you? What does it have to do with you whether we are angry or not?" Su Yuan was still calm. "I am considered the person in charge here. Did you hear that? The person in charge here said you can pick and eat whatever you want. It has nothing to do with you little shrimps. Get out of my way." Upon hearing Su Yuan's words, the big men were immediately satisfied. The staff member didn't know Su Yuan and looked at Li nervously. He found that Li gave him a look to get out of the way, so he quickly apologized and stood aside without saying anything. Then several big men started to have fun in the orchard. After he finished chewing, he took out his phone to shoot a video. "This is the legendary 50,000 yuan apple. I don't think it's that good. This is all a gimmick made up by the merchants to deceive people. Only girls like you who want to lose weight believe this kind of nonsense." Person in charge Li couldn't stand it any longer. "Mr. Su, are we just going to watch them being so arrogant here? Isn't it our job to make our guests happy?" Su Yuan raised the corners of his lips. "Remember to take a video to keep a record to see how many apples they picked and how many fruit trees they destroyed. You can't take a penny less than." "Yes, yes." Manager Li nodded, then asked in confusion, "By the way, Mr. Su, how much does one of these fruit trees cost?" 5 million. Chapter 252. I think suffering a loss is a blessing. "What? We just spent the whole afternoon here and ate a few of your rotten apples. And you actually want to charge us more than 60 million. After several men had finished their work in the orchard, they were preparing to pay the bill and leave. But the number reported by Mr. Li made the leader burst into cursing. "Are you guys too much of a bully? Don't think we are easy to bully. Look, this is the farmhouse you're trying to scam people with." After hearing the price, the man was very surprised, but he was not panicked at all. He calmly prepared his mobile phone and started shooting videos. Manager Li was also very calm. "You destroyed a total of 6 of our fruit trees. Each tree cost 5 million, a total of 60 million. In addition to your service fee and the cost of the apples you purchased, the total is 62,160,000. Would you like to pay by card or cash?" "You old fool, are you crazy about money? Aren't they just a few broken fruit trees? Why do you want 5 million each?" "Card or cash? Bah, I'm telling you I won't take a penny." "That's right, I don't care about my life today. I can't let a black shop like you take advantage of me." The meaning of these few people is very obvious. They want to default on their debt. But they came prepared. Although they were wearing loose clothes, you could tell from their physiques that they had been trained. At least they should be able to carry several of them. There are no security guards at the farmhouse, only some staff members, and they came here because they had made their choice. Su Yuan then leisurely came out holding a bowl of cherries. As he put the tempting red cherry into his mouth, he asked, "Are you going to cause trouble?" "So what if we just made trouble?" When they saw that Su Yuan had fair skin and tender flesh, they were not afraid of him at all. They even rolled up their sleeves deliberately, revealing the tangled muscles on their arms. But looking at those muscles, Su Yuan just casually spit the cherry pits into the trash can. "We don't accept muscles as payment for debts here. Don't be so slick here, kid. I just want to ask you one question. Will you let us go or not?" The leading man said this, and was about to grab Su Yuan by the collar. However, just as he walked in front of Su Yuan, he felt a flash before his eyes, and a white fist hit his face with the sound of wind. "Ugh!" He screamed and was knocked flying, landing on the gravel road at the door with blood all over his face. And in front of Su Yuan, an expressionless woman had appeared. The woman was wearing a silver tights and had a hot body. The punch just now was thrown by her. Although the woman had just demonstrated her strength, perhaps her beautiful appearance was too deceptive. The other men were stunned for a moment, then rushed towards Su Yuan. Bang, bang, bang. As the muffled sound of fists rang out, several men soon lay on the gravel road at the door, wailing with blood all over their faces, like a pile of human figures. Uncle Li, if someone saw this, it would probably have a bad impact, right? Su Yuan glanced at person in charge Li beside him. Manager Li immediately understood what he meant, and asked 2 employees to close the door of the farmhouse and hang up a closing sign. "I heard that you don't seem to have the money to pay for your consumption this time." The clever staff had already brought a rocking chair and a small coffee table to Su Yuan, and then made tea and placed snacks for him. Su Yuan sat leisurely and asked while eating. A few men originally came here to cause trouble, but they didn't expect that not only did they not succeed, but they were also beaten up by the other party. Now they are full of regret. They also knew that they were no match for Su Yuan, and quickly begged for mercy. "It's not that we don't have money to spend here, it's mainly because your prices are too high. How about making it cheaper?" "Sure, I'm easy to talk to." Su Yuan crossed his legs and swung them twice. "Isn't it 62,160,000? You only have to pay 62,155,999. No, we really don't have that much money. It's okay if you don't have so much money. You destroyed so many of my fruit trees. You can't just walk away like this, right? As long as you stay and provide nutrients for my fruit trees, I won't pursue this matter. Su Yuan said this, yawned, and looked like he was about to leave. Provide nutrients for fruit trees. After watching so many TV dramas, even a fool knows what this sentence means. Several men were frightened and turned pale. They shouted frantically, "Don't be impulsive, don't be impulsive, we don't want to be feed, we can collect money." Is it difficult for you to collect so much money? As soon as Su Yuan saw this group of people, he knew that they didn't look like rich people. They had probably emptied their family assets and couldn't even come up with a single cent. Otherwise, they wouldn't come here to do something like this to mess things up. When they heard Su Yuan's words, they were frightened. They really couldn't come up with that much money, but they don't want to be used as nutrients even more. Okay, seeing how pitiful you are, I can give you one last idea. Seeing that he had almost finished scaring them, Su Yuan slowly had someone throw a cell phone to them and said, "Call your boss and see what he says." Well, although they had signed an agreement with them before coming here to mess things up, they would be in trouble if they gave the boss away. But compared to becoming unclear fertilizer here, they would rather call their boss. Soon the call was connected. Person in charge Lee walked over and helped press the hands-free button. A steady voice came from the other end. "Is everything done?" The man on the phone wiped the blood off his face, glanced at Su Yuan, who was drinking tea leisurely, and whispered, "Something went wrong." "Hello, friend." Before the man could respond, Su Yuan spoke across the air. There was silence over there. "Hello, Mr. Su, aren't you still getting married? Why are you back to the farm now? I thought you would spend at least a month on your honeymoon." The other party's tone was very relaxed, and they also made a general comment on Su Yuan's itinerary. It was obvious that they knew a lot about Su Yuan. Su Yuan was too lazy to talk nonsense with them. "If you let me go to your place and compensate me for my losses, this matter will be fine. But if you don't care, I will really treat these people as fertilizer. Although it's a bit of a loss, I think it's a blessing to suffer a loss." Chapter 253. Mr. Su, you are the best in the world. Facing Su Yuan's threat, the man was not panicked at all. He smiled slowly and said, "If these pieces of trash are used as fertilizer for your fruit trees, won't that pollute your place? Release them and I'll give you the address. Come over to my place for a cup of tea." So easy to talk to. We are all businessmen, let's make money together. As long as Mr. Su is not so rigid, I am very easy to talk to. Okay. After hanging up the phone, Su Yuan took a look at the address the other party sent, then waved his hand and said, "Let them go." "Thank you, thank you." Several people were so moved that they burst into tears and almost knelt down and kowtowed to Su Yuan. "I see you guys are a little reluctant to leave." Su Yuan curled his lips and said, "If you don't want to leave, stay and have a meal." No. Let's go now. I won't bother Mr. Su anymore." When they heard that Su Yuan wanted to keep them for dinner, their faces changed immediately with fear, and they used their hands and feet to crawl out. It was only a few hundred meters from the gravel road to the door, and they fell several times. It looked painful. It was hard to leave. Su Yuan touched his face and asked Li, the person in charge beside him, "Do I look scary?" "Mr. Su, you are as beautiful as the moon and the sky, the best in the world." Although Mr. Li is old, he is very good at flattering people. Su Yuan continued to laugh. "These people don't really think I will turn them into fertilizer, do they? If you read more books, you will know that this method is not feasible. Besides, the fertilizer the system gives him is much better than what they give him." "Honey, what happened to those people who just left? Why do they seem to be talking in a weird way?" They were mumbling something nonsense about fertilizer or something. Before they said a few words, Zhao Qingsu, who had arranged everything, came over with Li Guo and Su Yuan's parents. Of course, Su Yuan couldn't tell the truth about this kind of thing. He said casually, without blushing or beating his heart, "Just now these people were gathered together in the farmhouse to tell ghost stories. I guess they were scared like that." Su Yuan's parents looked around the farmhouse and asked, "That's impossible. I see those guys are tall and strong. How could they be afraid of ghosts? It's more like ghosts are afraid of them." "Who knows? It's because big people are afraid of ghosts. Think about it, big people run slower, so ghosts can easily catch up with them." That seems to make some sense. Seeing Zhao Qingsu and his parents coming over, Su Yuan winked at person in charge Li. Manager Li smiled and ordered people to prepare ingredients and equipment for the evening barbecue. Su Yuan's mother also rushed into the kitchen, muttering, "I'll help you prepare. During this period of time, Yuan's wedding, you have been eating a lot of meat and fish every day. The diet is really unhealthy. I'll make you some healthy skewers." Looking at his mother, who was suffering from an indirect health disorder, he spread his hands helplessly and said, "Okay." Su Yuan's father sighed. "Well, I thought I could be happy for a few more days, but I didn't expect to have to start eating grass again." After having a happy meal with a few people at the farmhouse, Su Yuan's parents took Li Gu to the orchard to walk around and digest the food. Su Yuan's pulled Zhao Qingsu and said, "I have something to do here, do you want to come with me?" "Then I'm definitely willing to do so." Zhao Qingsu took his arm and said, "I'll go wherever my husband goes." "Then let's go." Su Yuan drove and quickly arrived at the address sent to him by the mysterious man, which was some kind of agricultural base. When we got there, it really looked like that, a very large greenhouse, all white. I could tell there were a lot of things planted inside, but I had no idea what they were. It seemed as if they had known that Su Yuan was coming, as the security guard at the door did not make things difficult for him. As soon as he saw his car approaching, he let him pass. Su Yuan continued to drive inside, and then he saw a small building that looked like a two-story country villa. The small building looks simple, but once you walk in, it is as luxurious as a palace, with sparkling things everywhere. If you don't know, you might think you have walked into the wrong place and arrived at some club. "Mr. Su is here. I'm sorry for not welcoming you in person." Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu just walked in. The man in a suit who was originally sitting on the sofa stood up and said to Su Yuan with a smile. The man was very thin with a mustache and looked very shrewd and slick, and it was obvious that he was a businessman. But if you look back a few decades, he probably had the potential to be a traitor. Su Yuan pulled Zhao Qingsu to sit down and said, "You are quite courageous. You actually asked people to come to my place to mess things up." The man seemed quite calm about what he had done. "How can that be called ruining the place? At most, it was a friendly exchange between colleagues." "Oh." Su Yuan raised his eyebrows. "This guy is really good at talking. If this is called friendly communication, then what does it mean to draw swords against each other? But that's not the point. He came here today to see what this guy was up to." After all, he did not ignore the fact that the other party called him a colleague. There has been a saying since ancient times that people in the same industry are enemies. He came here with bad intentions, and the other party might not really want to communicate with him in a friendly manner, as his smiling face indicated. "Mr. Su, I told you that I am a businessman. As a businessman, I only care about making money. I know you think that colleagues are enemies, and you think my words are a bit hypocritical, but I can swear to you that I really want to cooperate with you." The man with a mustache signaled someone to serve tea to Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu. Su Yuan took a glance and didn't drink. Zhao Qingsu didn't do anything. Anyway, she couldn't understand what Su Yuan and the man were saying, so she just sat there and listened obediently. "Then tell me how you want to cooperate. Know yourself and know your enemy, and you can fight 100 battles with no danger of defeat. At least we should figure out the other party's intentions first. From what Mr. Su said, I know he is a straightforward person. Since you are so straightforward, I won't beat around the bush. To be honest, I am attracted by the reputation and influence of Mr. Su's farmhouse. As for our cooperation method, it is very simple." The man with the mustache pointed at the apples on the coffee table in front of him and said, "Mr. Su sells apples, and so do I, but Mr. Su's farm is so small that even if he planted apples everywhere, he wouldn't be able to grow this kind of apple, right? But it's different here. I have tens of thousands of acres of apple fields, so I can have as many apples as I want. If we cooperate, Mr. Su doesn't need to provide apples or labor. He just needs to help me with a little publicity. Then I can give Mr. Sun 10 points of profit directly." Chapter 254, Husband, What Should I Do Now? 10 points of profit. Zhao Qingsu, who was sitting next to Su Yuan, counted on her fingers and said, "It's only 10 points of profit. What's the point? It's too little, right? If we sell it ourselves, we will get 100% of the profit. Why should we share it with you?" Mrs. Su's words. "It's a bit too much to be knowledgeable." The man with the mustache paused for a moment before explaining. "Mrs. Su, don't underestimate this 10-point profit. As long as we sell enough and the base is large enough, it will definitely make more money than the few apples you sell at your farm. And you don't have to pay for anything. The planting site, labor, freight, management, water, and electricity. I will pay for all of these. You only need to promote it. In addition, I can let you continue to sell apples from your farm and will not interfere with your business. If there are cheap ones for sale, then people will definitely buy the cheap ones. Who would buy the expensive ones? That's wrong. You run a farm stay, so you must have your own advantages compared to our express delivery. After all, people in the city now like to go to the orchard to pick fruits to eat. Mustache's smile is perfect. He looked at Su Yuan with confidence. He felt that although Zhao Qingsu's question was rather stupid, Su Yuan must understand how huge the profit was. There is no reason for him not to get a piece of the pie. A net profit of 10 points was already quite high, and he had no reason to refuse. After all, who can resist money? Oh, what if I say your conditions are not attractive to me at all? Su Yuan leaned back on the sofa and continued lazily. It's not like I can't afford the labor, water, and electricity you mentioned. Why should I cooperate with you? I can do it myself and get 100% of the pure profit. I didn't expect Su Yuan to give such an answer. The smile on the mustache face froze for a moment. If Mr. Su really does this, isn't it too much of a waste of time? Even children know that making money is fun only when everyone makes it together. Don't look so grim. I was just joking when I said that before. Seeing that the little mustache man was getting a little tired, Su Yuan raised the corners of his mouth and chuckled. The man with the mustache looked better. I knew Mr. Su was a smart guy. Actually, I have no interest in making money from diet apples, that's the truth. When money has no appeal, no matter what the conditions are, Su Yuan will not feel the slightest bit moved. Mr. Su, I feel like you don't have much sincerity in discussing cooperation with me. The man with the mustache also looked unhappy because of Su Yuan's words. At the same time, he also understood. Su Yuan had no intention of cooperating with him at all. Since there wasn't any, there was no need for him to be so polite. I had no intention of discussing any bullshit cooperation with you. Even if you don't make a penny and give me 100% of the profit, I'm not interested. As for the purpose of coming here this time, one is to see what you are going to do, and the other is. Su Yuan paused. Do you still remember that you owe me more than 60 million? I'll take the money and leave. Although more than 60 million is just the price of a toy for Su Yuan, he still has to pay the compensation. He is not a saint, so how could he just let it go? I think you haven't figured out the situation yet, Mr. Su. The mustache guy's expression went from ugly to gloomy. The tone was no longer as polite as before, but became threatening. I asked you to come here this time, Mr. Su, to inform you to cooperate. If you agree, then we will all be happy. If you don't agree, then I can only agree on behalf of Mr. Su. The man with the mustache looked at Su Yuan with a hint of amusement and disdain. Young people just don't understand the dangers of the world. To a place like this, if you give him an address at random, he would really dare to come here alone and bring his beautiful wife with him. Should we say he is confident or stupid? What are you going to do? The mustache man's expression made Zhao Qingsu instinctively feel threatened. She subconsciously leaned towards Su Yuan and grabbed his clothes. Su Yuan held her hand in his backhand. Feeling her cold little hands, Su Yuan felt a little annoyed. If he had known earlier, he would not have brought her here. What can I do? Madam Su, what do you think of the environment here? If you think it's good, stay here for a few days. When your husband changes his mind, you can leave. As he finished speaking, his true face was completely revealed. A dozen men quickly rushed in through the door. They were all fully armed and holding cold weapons in their hands. They looked much more terrifying than those big men who went to the farmhouse to cause trouble. Zhao Qingsu was startled. Husband, what should we do now? Although she knew that Su Yuan had a good physique, it was still difficult for him to fight so many people at once. But a silver shadow suddenly flashed through her mind. When she thought of that shadow, Zhao Qingsu felt at ease unconsciously. Her husband must have a solution. Mrs. Su, are you going with us, or? The man with a mustache saw that Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu were still leisurely, and winked at the two men over there. Immediately, two men came forward, one on the left and one on the right. It looked like he wanted to take Zhao Qingsu away. However, as soon as the two men arrived in front of Su Yuan, who was leisurely the previous second, suddenly exploded in the next second and kicked the two men out with an astonishing speed and explosive power. Although the two men reacted, they were too slow to even defend themselves subconsciously, and were kicked hard by Su Yuan twice. Give me all. The man with a mustache didn't expect that Su Yuan, who looked pampered, was actually so skilled, which surprised him a little. He stood up and wanted to give orders and ask everyone to attack together. After all, two fists cannot beat four hands. No matter how powerful he is, he still has a delicate wife. But he had only said half of his words when his momentum weakened. His tone also became flattering. All of you step back and don't disturb the distinguished guests. because there is a shining dagger on his neck. No one knew what the dagger was made of. Both sides were black and looked dull, but the man with a mustache had no doubt about the sharpness of the dagger, because just the chill emitted by the dagger made his teeth chatter unconsciously. Chapter 255. What? Are you pregnant? Since their boss had been captured, a group of men dared not act rashly even with guns and cannons, and could only move back little by little. The man with the mustache was afraid that his throat would be broken in the next second, and he complained that they didn't move far enough. Speed, speed, move further. After everyone retreated to the door, he looked at Su Yuan in a flattering manner. Mr. Su, Mrs. Su, don't mind it. I was just joking with you. We are in a society ruled by law now. How can I do these things? The country doesn't allow it. You know not to do it, but I see you're having fun doing it in private. Su Yuan is a very carefree person. For many things, unless they were too serious, he basically didn't take care of them personally. For example, among the employees hired by the orchard to look after the fruit trees, 2 of them had the idea of stealing apples and reselling them. When they were discovered by the Galaxy Guardians he had asked to guard the area, they were directly held accountable and fired. I knocked on the rest, and now they are all very obedient. But this time it's different. This guy with a mustache not only openly posted false information on social platforms to deceive people, but also hired people to cause trouble at his place. After failing to cause trouble, she even wanted to drag him into the crime. One of the people he hates most is those who play word games on products and publish false information. They all ran into him. Of course he has to clean it up properly. Mr. Su, Mrs. Su, let's talk it over or have a cup of tea first. The man with the mustache had eyes that were wide open, and it was obvious that he had no good intentions. I don't know what he was planning. Su Yuan was too lazy to pay attention to him, and he just stood up with his arm around Zhao Qingsu. I don't dare drink your tea. Besides, I don't care who you are or who the boss behind you is. Since you dare to target me and even threaten me again and again, you should pay the price. If you want to continue to make me unhappy, I will accompany you, but next time it may not be so simple. After saying that, Su Yuan hugged Zhao Qingsu and walked out. Naturally, the people around didn't dare to stop them. A group of people looked at Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu leaving, feeling a little helpless. And the mustache guy here still has the dagger on his neck. He didn't dare to move at all and rolled his eyes in embarrassment. Look, your boss is gone. Ah. Before he could finish his words, he suddenly screamed. His eyeballs instantly became bloodshot and bulged out suddenly, because he saw that his 2 arms had fallen to the ground almost at the same time. Cost. The woman left 2 cold words with almost no emotion, and the next second, she disappeared without a trace like a ghost. The people around looked at the woman and had no idea where she came from or how. She suddenly appeared and disappeared, but they didn't have time to think about it, as they rushed to the man with a mustache in a hurry. Mr. Fu, are you okay? Mr. Fu, how do you feel? Mr. Fu, I'll take you to the hospital. Fu Guang almost died of anger when he heard the voices of his men. He's like this now, how can he be okay? And asked him how he felt. Chop off both of your arms and see how you react. However, he was in so much pain that he could hardly speak. He was sweating all over and his face was pale. But he still didn't forget the most important thing. Quick, inform my brother about this matter. What? Are we just leaving like this? Zhao Qingsu saw Su Yuan said something and then left without doing anything. She was still a little confused in the car. To be honest, it was the first time she had seen such a tense situation, and she was really shocked. I didn't expect that in this day and age, there are still people who threaten others with force at every turn. I can only say that they are really brave. However, her husband is also very good tilde. Su Yuan saw that her eyes were clear and seemed to be vaguely excited, so he couldn't help but ask, "Then what do you want me to do?" Humph, this kind of fraudster must be taught a lesson. At the very least, give him a beating. Zhao Qingsu also doesn't like those fraudulent things. Otherwise, she wouldn't be so picky when accepting advertisements. But when it comes to advertising, she is really a little sad. Most of the advertisements she found were for products without any quality assurance or those with inflated prices. There was no brand that she could accept. As a result, she has only taken 2 or 3 advertisements up to now. Don't worry, he has learned enough lessons. Su Yuan drove while watching her talking in the passenger seat with her head tilted. Because it wasn't very hot, Zhao Qingsu opened the window. The breeze blew in from the window, and her ink-black hair fluttered in the air, sticking to her fair skin in a messy manner, making her beauty both bold and comfortable. Looking at her, his heart softened. Su Yuan couldn't help but reach out and help her brush the hair by her ear. But the next second, his hand was knocked away by her. "Drive carefully and don't be distracted." Zhao Qingsu glared at him, and her fierce and ferocious look made him completely helpless. His heart moved. "Zhu'er, why don't we have a child?" In fact, he had wanted a child for a long time. He also really likes children. When he first got together with Zhao Qingsu, he had already imagined how cute his future children would be. But there were no conditions before. He didn't want the child to suffer with him after it was born, so he was always very careful. Now that he is basically stable and has enough financial strength, it is time to have a child. Zhao Qingsu felt a little shy when she heard him say that. "Okay, we'll have 2 children in the future. Well, preferably a man and a woman. So do you want the first one to be a boy or a girl?" When Zhao Qingsu said this, she subconsciously touched her belly. Su Yuan noticed his movements with his sharp eyes. "Why, you are?" Seeing his eyes were so bright that they almost sparkled with shattered stars, Zhao Qingsu felt a little stressed and whispered, "I'm not sure yet. Generally speaking, it takes at least a month for pregnancy to be visible. Her period didn't come last month, and it's been delayed for more than a week. However, the strange thing is that she hasn't had any pregnancy symptoms, such as morning sickness. So she wasn't sure whether it was menstrual irregularities or she was pregnant. Why didn't you tell me about this earlier?" Su Yuan happily turned the car around and said, "Let's go buy some test strips now." "It's too early. The test paper can't detect it." "Oh, that's true. Let's go to the hospital and do HCG. Chapter 256, I won't be polite then. You know a lot about this." In desperation, Zhao Qingsu followed Su Yuan to the hospital, registered and queued up for blood drawing, and an hour later she successfully got the results. The two of them sat outside and used their phones to check for a long time what HCG value was considered pregnancy. As a result, the doctor came out and looked at the two of them with a smile. "Congratulations." Although there was no surprise in the prize draw, the result already made Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu overjoyed. Zhao Qingsu gently placed her hand on her flat belly and rubbed it several times like a star chaser. "Really? But I don't feel anything at all. It's only been half a month now. It's normal that there is no reaction. Generally, pregnancy reactions will only appear after about a month." The doctor smiled and said, "In addition to paying more attention to your diet, you also need to keep a calm mind. I see that you are in good health, so you will be fine. But you still need to remember to come to the hospital for a prenatal checkup on time. Probably because it was rare to see such a good-looking couple like Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu." The doctor was also very enthusiastic and took Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu aside to talk about a lot of precautions. In fact, Su Yuan didn't hear what the doctor said at all. He was so happy that he felt dizzy. He grabbed the doctor's hand and said, "Doctor, is it a boy or a girl?" The doctor was stunned for a moment because he didn't expect that, after he had said so much, Su Yuan would actually ask such a question. Zhao Qingsu next to him gently pushed him and said, "This child is only a few days old. How can the doctor know whether it is a boy or a girl?" The doctor sighed and glanced at Su Yuan, then said tactfully, "In this day and age, it's the same whether you give birth to a boy or a girl." Yes, it's the same." Su Yuan knew that the doctor had misunderstood, but he didn't argue with the doctor. He was so happy that he almost hugged Zhao Qingsu and spun around on the spot. After leaving the hospital, the first thing they did was to inform their parents of the news. After hearing this, Su Yuan's mom and dad couldn't stop laughing. "Really? Then we will have a grandson." "Yeah, so are you planning to go back?" After the wedding, Su Yuan's parents actually wanted to move back, and Su Yuan couldn't keep them. Now, when they heard that Zhao Qingsu had a child, they immediately changed their minds. "Where can we go back to? We have to stay and take care of Qingsu." Su Yuan suppressed his laughter and said, "No need. If you really want to go back, then just go back. I can call 2 professional nannies over here. If you keep causing trouble, I'll knock your head off." Su Yuan's mother was rarely anxious and couldn't help but scold Su Yuan with a smile. Su Yuan finally said, "That was just a joke. You 2 elders must stay, but where do you plan to live? Are you going to live upstairs or?" "I'll just live upstairs for now. It'll be convenient for me to look after Zhu'er. Although it's nice to hire a nanny, she won't care about Zhu'er as much as we do." That's what Mom and Dad said. What? Su Yuan was talking to his parents on the phone. Zhao Qingsu also told her parents the news. Her mother called immediately and asked, "Daughter, is what you said true?" Zhao Qingsu was helpless. "This kind of thing must be true. How can I lie to you?" "Oh, great. Let me show you. I have saved a lot of secret recipes for giving birth to a boy. As long as you follow my recipes, it will definitely be a boy when the time comes." Before Zhao Qingsu could say anything, she heard the sound of rummaging through drawers and cabinets over there. It must be her mother looking for some secret recipe for giving birth to a boy. She was helpless. "Mom, please stop working. Your mother is looking for a secret recipe." Zhao Qingsu's father took over the conversation. He glanced at the busy figure of his carefree old woman, walked to the balcony with his mobile phone, and whispered, "Don't listen to your mother's nonsense. It's the same whether you have a boy or a girl. Now is this era. Let's not care about so much and don't have any psychological pressure. Do you understand?" "Dad, I get it. You're still the best." Zhao Qingsu felt warm at heart when she heard her father say this. "If you need anything, just tell your dad. Although I am controlled by your mom, it's not a bad idea to secretly do something that goes against your mom's will occasionally." "Okay, Dad." Zhao Qingsu nodded vigorously. "Don't worry, I will definitely tell you if I need anything." "Okay, forget it since it's too late today. I'll come see you tomorrow." Zhao Qingsu's father spoke cheerfully, as if he had suddenly become several years younger. "But now I have to help you deal with your mother first." After Zhao Qingsu's father finished the call, Zhao Qingsu's mother hurriedly found a stack of yellowed papers from some cabinet in the room. There were a lot of long and short words written on it, and the words "Palace Secret Recipe" were marked next to it as if to prevent others from knowing. "It's all your fault that you buy too many books. I searched for a long time but couldn't find this important thing." Zhao Qingsu's mother mumbled and turned around in a daze. "Hey, where is my phone? Hurry up and give me my phone. I have something important to tell Qingsu now." No need to say more, the phone is hung up. Zhao Qingsu's father pulled her to sit on the sofa and poured her a cup of tea. "Don't worry about our daughter's affairs." Zhao Qingsu's mother was anxious. "How can I worry about nothing? Didn't you hear our daughter say she was pregnant? She is married so well now. In order to stabilize her position, she must give birth to a boy quickly. Otherwise, how will a girl inherit the family property in the future? Why are you worrying about who will inherit other people's property?" Zhao Qingsu's father frowned and said, "You can mess around in our own family, but now that my daughter is pregnant, I won't allow you to mess around with their little family." "What kind of family property is this?" "The family's family property belongs to the Su family. What does it have to do with us? You are just meddling in other people's business. Finally, I didn't let you eat your secret recipe before, and you ate it secretly without telling me. Luckily, Qingsu is fine, otherwise I would." "How about you?" Zhao Qingsu's mother stiffened her neck and said, "I am doing this for Zuer's own good. Anyway, we must have a boy in the future. After the first child is born, there will be less pressure in the future. What do you know?" "If you really mean that I don't understand, then I won't be polite." Zhao Qingsu's father's expression became more serious. "We don't have a son either. If you insist on forcing Qingsu to give birth to a son, you should give birth to one first and let me see." Chapter 257, I'm really afraid of you. "Zhao Anqing, are you going to rebel today?" Zhao Qingsu's mother's face turned red from the insult. She was so angry that she could hardly finish her words. She wished she could tear her husband apart. Zhao Qingsu's father remained calm. "I still say that. In our family, it doesn't matter how you mess with me. I am your husband. But now I don't allow you to mess with our daughter and son-in-law, otherwise we will be finished." "You..." After glaring at Zhao Qingsu's father fiercely, Zhao Qingsu's mother continued to yell, "You are not allowed to finish your meal tonight." "Okay, wife." Snort. "What?" After informing both sets of parents about this matter, the second thing Zhao Qingsu thought of was to prepare something for the baby in her belly. The baby room in the large flat was reserved a long time ago, but because we didn't know whether it would be a boy or a girl, it hadn't been decorated yet. However, Zhao Qingsu has already started to worry about the decoration. She even counted on her fingers. "Now we have to start with the baby carriage, diapers, milk powder, bottles, baby powder, and clothes, socks, and pants for the children. There should be more, right? Husband, please help me think about it." Look at her silly look. Su Yuan couldn't help but hold her hand. "You don't have to worry about these. I will prepare them for you when the time comes. But I think these should be prepared in advance. I'm your husband, and you just need to stay at home and take care of your baby every day." Su Yuan thought about it and felt that nurturing a baby was also a technical job, and someone had to be watching over it to do it scientifically. So he went to the group and asked if anyone's wife had used a nutritionist when giving birth, and if anyone had any reliable recommendations. Not to mention, although the group of rich second generations that Su Yuan knew in the imperial capital only knew how to eat, drink, and have fun every day, some of them actually had children. One of them, named Wang Li, recommended a high-end confinement center to him. saying that his wife gave birth there and that everything was arranged very well, and he could go there to find someone. Su Yuan did some research and found out that although the headquarters of this maternity center called Shenying is in the imperial capital, it also has a branch in Shanghai. It specializes in high-end maternity centers, where you can give birth and recuperate, or you can go there to take care of your baby. There are international professional nutritionists who prepare different menus every day according to personal tastes. There are also special people to take care of your daily life. If possible, they can even do your dressing and undressing. They will definitely serve you comfortably. Of course, this place is also very expensive. The cost of living there for a month starts at 500,000, not to mention other miscellaneous things. Su Yuan didn't think the price was outrageous. You get what you pay for. If you want the best experience, you have to pay enough money. Su Yuan felt that it was unnecessary to let Zhao Qingsu go to the Holy Infant Temple, but it would be a good choice to go to the Holy Infant Temple and ask a few experienced people to take care of her. So he decided to take Zhao Qingsu to see the Holy Infant the next day. After being comforted by Su Yuan, Zhao Qingsu still felt uneasy and told Qi Han the news. When Qi Han heard that Zhao Qingsu was pregnant, he was also stunned for a moment. "Oh my God, Qingsu, you are pregnant so soon." When she was in college, she once made a joking agreement with Zhao Qingsu that they would get married and have children together. Then if the children are sisters, they will become sworn sisters. If they are boys, they will become brothers. If it's a man and a woman, they can get married right away. Now we live in a society of free love, and most of these remarks are made as a joke. However, when Qi Han thought about the jokes made back then, he could not help but sigh. She hasn't even found a man yet, but Zhao Qingsu is actually pregnant. Yeah, I'm a little panicked now. What should I do? Although she really wanted a cute baby, Zhao Qingsu was a first-time mother and was a little nervous, fearing that she would not do a good job. "Why are you panicking?" Qi Han heard her say this and quickly comforted her. "Let me tell you, as long as you do prenatal checkups on time, the baby you give birth to will definitely be smart and good-looking. And do you know what the most annoying attribute of a baby is? Zumb." Although Qi Han herself doesn't have children, Zhao Qingsu couldn't help but feel curious after hearing her talk so clearly. That's the attribute of a money-eating beast. None of your hobbies cost as much as raising a child, but with your Su Yuan here, you don't have to worry about such things at all. Qi Han said in a gentle tone, "Okay, don't panic. I'll accompany you to take care of the baby." "Well, okay. By the way, tomorrow is the weekend, and my husband said he would take me to see the Holy Infant. Do you want to come with us?" The Holy Child. At first, Qi Han didn't know what the Holy Infant was. She was stunned for a moment, then she searched the internet. When she found out that this was a confinement center that cost 500,000 yuan to stay in for a month, she nodded frantically and said, "Yes, yes, yes, of course I want to go." She might never live in a place like this again in her lifetime, but it's good to go and take a look. After agreeing on the time, Su Yuan drove Zhao Qingsu and Qi Han to Shenying the next day before school. Because we had made an appointment in advance, and it was an internal VIP appointment through Wang Li's wife, we were personally received by Li Yue, the manager of Shenying. She was a woman about 50 years old with her hair tied up, dressed simply and elegantly, and had a gentle smile, which made people feel very comfortable when looking at her. When she saw Su Yuan coming with Qi Han and Zhao Qingsu, she greeted the three of them with a smile, and then invited them into the VIP room. "I think the baby is only 1 month old. Madam Su has a good figure and doesn't look pregnant. She is really enviable." Li Yue invited the three to sit down, served them drinks, and chatted for a while. After asking about the basic situation, he was extremely envious of Zhao Qingsu. "I have been working at Shenying for 15 years. In these 15 years, I have seen a lot, but this is the first time I have met such a good husband like Mr. Su. Madam Su, you are so lucky. Of course, our Qingsu is so pretty. Of course, she should be loved well." Qi Han took over the conversation proudly and pinched Zhao Qingsu's little face, as if he was being praised. Zhao Qingsu felt very embarrassed by what she said. "Can't you be more low-key? Why should I keep it low-key? If I had a husband as good as Brother Yuan, I would do a live broadcast every day to let everyone know that I have such a loving husband." Seeing Qi Han's confident look, Zhao Qingsu really couldn't do anything to her. "I'm really scared of you." Chapter 258, Whatever You Want Comes True. During the conversation, Li Yue had already understood Su Yuan's needs clearly. She quickly recommended 3 nutritionists and 20 excellent confinement nannies from the Holy Infant Center. These are people who have worked here for more than 10 years. They have complete credentials, rich experience, good health, good personalities, and are hardworking. You can choose whichever one you like and take it away. People here can also come to the house, but the price is not cheap, and Shengying also charges a service fee. Su Yuan took a few casual glances and found these people quite pleasing to the eye. He turned around and said, "Wife, pick a few that you like." "Let me see." Zhao Qingsu didn't know which one to choose and was a little confused for a moment. She habitually discussed with Qi Han, "Please help me decide which one is better." Qi Han smacked his lips and whispered to Zhao Qingsu, "I think you can just pick whatever you want. These are all pretty good. They look like the kind of people who can dance square dance all day without taking a breath. Then I'll just pick one randomly." As if noticing the struggle between the two, Li Yue on the side said with a smile, "If you are not satisfied with anything, you can contact us at any time. We can help you replace the person." "Well, then I'll choose number 1 and number 2. Zhao Qingsu also quickly chose the person. Su Yuan didn't waste any words and directly paid Shengying 500,000 yuan in agency fees, and a total of 1.2 million yuan for the nutritionist and nanny for 10 months. Ding, congratulations to the host for donating 1.7 million to his wife Zhao Qinghua and getting a tenfold rebate of 17 million. It has been deposited into your account balance. Please check it. Ding, congratulations to the host for donating $5 to his wife Zhao Qinghua. You have triggered the lucky rebate and received a soul-cultivating pill. Please check it. Whatever you want comes true. Listening to the system voice ringing in his ears, Su Yuan checked the effect of the Yuling pills and was immediately ecstatic. Yuling pills are specially made for pregnant women. After taking them, not only will pregnant women not have severe pregnancy reactions, they will not develop stretch marks, and the children born will be smarter and healthier. This is the most practical thing Su Yuan has ever gotten from the system. As soon as he left the Holy Infant, on his way home, he couldn't help but take out the soul-nurturing pill. "What is this?" Zhao Qingsu, who was sitting in the passenger seat, saw Su Yuan suddenly give her a small thing similar to a sugar pill. She took it in her palm and observed it for a while, then asked curiously, "Sugar?" Su Yuan couldn't wait to watch her eat it. "How does it taste? Why did you suddenly give me candy? This is not for you to eat. It's for our little baby in your belly. But he's so small, how can he eat?" Zhao Qingsu couldn't help laughing when she heard Su Yuan's words. But after laughing for a while, she happily put the Yuling pill into her mouth. But as soon as she took this thing into her mouth, she was immediately surprised. The taste when you put it in your mouth is an extremely sweet one, and it melts as soon as it touches your saliva, as if the sweetness just now was just an illusion. The taste of this thing doesn't seem like sugar. How does it taste? If Su Yuan said that this thing was Yuling pills, Zhao Qingsu probably wouldn't believe it, so Su Yuan just said it was candy. But in fact, he didn't know what the Yuling pills tasted like, so when she saw Zhao Qingsu eating it, she was a little nervous. Zhao Qingsu narrowed her eyes. "It's delicious, the taste is very special. I want to eat too." Qi Han also heard the two people talking in the back seat. At first, when she saw Su Yuan giving Zhao Qingsu candy, she didn't care and thought that the two were just showing their love. To be honest, she has been fed a lot of dog food with Zhao Qingsu in the past few years, and now she is basically immune to such small scenes. But when she heard Zhao Qingsu say that the taste was very special, she immediately became curious. Su Yuan glanced back at her and said, "Want to eat? If you want to eat, ask your husband to buy it for you." Qi Han was choked by Su Yuan's words and was stunned for a moment. "Qingsu, look at him. My husband is right. If you want to eat delicious candy, just ask your husband to buy it for you." Of course, Zhao Qingsu stood on Su Yuan's side. Qi Han sighed, "You are really a typical example of someone who values women over friendship. If I had known that you would value women over friendship, I should not have been reincarnated as a girl. I should have been reincarnated as a boy and chased you first, and then see what happened to brother Yuan. You couldn't find a boyfriend when you were a girl, so you think you can chase my wife when you're a boy. Are you dreaming?" Qi Han was almost becoming autistic because of Su Yuan's criticism. Damn, is Su Yuan's mouth poisonous. The three of them drove into the community chatting and laughing, and just happened to meet Su Yuan's parents who were coming back from buying groceries. They often took Li Gu for a walk in the evening. During this period, several elderly people in the community also knew them. When they saw that they bought a lot of vegetables, they stopped to greet them and asked, "What good day is it today? Why are you buying so many things?" "My daughter-in-law is pregnant, so I bought her some extra nourishment." Su Yuan's mother was very happy. "So your daughter-in-law is pregnant. That's a great joy. But you two old people will be busy. Pregnant women have bad tempers and are troublesome. You have to take good care of her. As soon as the uncles and aunts heard that their daughter-in-law was pregnant, they immediately started talking. In fact, most of the people living here are not locals. A large number of them are brought here by their sons and daughters-in-law who are too busy to take care of their children. If they meet a sensible daughter-in-law, their lives will be more comfortable. But if you meet a powerful daughter-in-law, you may have to suffer all kinds of injustice at home. But for the sake of your grandchildren, you have to endure it, right? Su Yuan's mother listened to their complaints happily, but she was also very annoyed after they finished. Ah, this is the case that every family has its own problems. You have your own problems, and our family has our own problems. Don't uncles and aunts love gossip the most? They all more or less knew that Su Yuan's mother's daughter-in-law was Zhao Qingsu. So when they heard Su Yuan's mother say this, a group of people immediately pricked up their ears, widened their eyes with gossip, and waited eagerly for Su Yuan's mother to complain about Zhao Qingsu. I think your daughter-in-law is very gentle. Could it be that she is also excessive at home? No, no, no. Su Yuan's mother shook her head. My daughter-in-law is fine, but my son. Well, you said that we stayed in the Magic City just to take care of my daughter-in-law, right? But who knows, my son insisted that he was afraid that we would be tired, so he asked us to just chat and take a walk with my daughter-in-law at home and ask professionals to do everything else. Chapter 259, that's definitely not cheap. How can it be possible for all the people living together to have the same views? For example, regarding the matter of Zhao Qingsu staying at home to take care of her pregnancy, Su Yuan's parents felt that they were all experienced people, so they should just let them take care of Zhao Qingsu. But Su Yuanyi felt that professionals were better. Secondly, I didn't want to make them tired, so I insisted on spending money to find someone. The two old people had no choice but to listen to their son. After all, their son is successful now, and they don't need to worry about him. They just need to follow their son's ideas. This isn't confinement. Why would you hire someone? Isn't it a waste of money? That's right. The people you hire are just here to work for money, not to really take care of your grandson. How can they be as dedicated as you are? I think you should have a good talk with your son and give up this idea as soon as possible. What old son said makes sense. As elders, we cannot let children make decisions for us. Of course, we want children to be obedient. A group of people were chattering around Su Yuan's parents, giving them advice. If you didn't know, you would have thought they were worrying about their own family affairs. Originally, Su Yuan's mother didn't think there was anything wrong with this matter, but she became a little unhappy after hearing what several people said. Her smile faded a little. Okay, I won't tell you anymore. My son and daughter-in-law will be back soon. I have to go back to cook. Dad, Mom, are you here? Coincidentally, when Su Yuan's mother was about to take Su Yuan's father away, Su Yuan drove up nearby, rolled down the window, and greeted the two of them. Your parents are chatting with us. Qingsu, I heard you are pregnant. Congratulations. What are you doing? A group of people who were still not satisfied also greeted Zhao Qingsu. Zhao Qingsu was in a good mood and replied with a smile. My husband took me to see Sheng Yin and hired a nutritionist and 2 confinement nannies to take care of me. They just came back. Oh, I'm not saying anything bad about you young people, but you just don't know how to save money. Why do you need to hire a nutritionist for no reason? That's just wasting money. Your mother-in-law is so nice. Wouldn't it be better for her to take care of you here? Yes, don't let your mother-in-law down. Listen to my aunt's advice. Outsiders will never be as dedicated as your family members. Several people chattered and gave Zhao Qingsu a long lecture. Zhao Qingsu knew that this group of uncles and aunts were just like her own mother. They had little knowledge, were stubborn, and liked to teach others. If it were someone else, they might be said to be angry. However, Zhao Qingsu had experience getting along with her own mother, and her temper was well-tempered. Hearing what they said, she just smiled and said softly, Of course, my mother has 1,000 good points, 10,000 good points, but I can't bear to see them tired. Normally, when she cooks at home, I help her. Now that I'm pregnant, how can I bear to see my mother busy serving us all by herself? Of course, I have to hire someone. She glanced at Su Yuan's mother, and her smile deepened. As for my mother, I have nothing to do at home. I feel very happy that she can chat with me. I don't want to make her tired. Zhao Qingsu's words made Su Yuan's mother burst into laughter, and the unhappiness she had just felt disappeared. Having such a good daughter-in-law, of course she has to treat her well, and she is too lazy to get angry with these idle people. A group of old men and women were also made jealous by what Zhao Qingsu said. They couldn't help but sigh, looking at Su Yuan's mother, who was extremely jealous. You are so lucky to have such a sensible and filial daughter-in-law. She is totally different from our ancestor. Yes, if my son and daughter-in-law were half as filial as yours, I wouldn't have had a myocardial infarction from being so angry. Oh, I'm so envious. Although Su Yuan's mother is not a person who likes to show off, there is no one who doesn't like to hear good words. She couldn't help but feel happy when everyone envied her. Oh, you guys are exaggerating, aren't you? Our Zuer is not as good as you say. After a little humility, everyone changed the subject, and Su Yuan's mom and dad followed Zhao Qingsu and Su Yuan upstairs. On the way, Su Yuan saw his mother's happy look and couldn't help asking, "Mom, did Zuer make you proud today?" Su Yuan's mother glared at him and said, "It's Zuer who made me proud, not you. Why are you so happy? After all, Qingsu is the daughter-in-law I found for you." Proudly hugging Zhao Qingsu's waist, Su Yuan looked at his mother provocatively like a child showing off his toys. Su Yuan's mother hit him with a hammer and said, "Are you itching for trouble? Mom, please be gentle. What? Do you really think that the daughter-in-law of the Su family is so good?" After Su Yuan and others left, the topic of discussion once again shifted to Su Yuan's family. When talking about this family, everyone is very curious and amazed. After all, although Zhao Qingsu's words were beautiful and made them jealous, they still hoped in their hearts that what Zhao Qingsu said was just superficial. "I think he just said that in front of us. People of this generation are very selfish. They may not be good to their own parents, let alone their mother-in-law and father-in-law." "I think so." She said she went a holy infant to hire a nutritionist and a confinement nanny. Do you know what holy infant is? The holy child, never heard of it. Almost no one knew about Shengying, and everyone thought it was a small, unknown company. Fortunately, an old man was good at Beidou, and after searching for a long time, he stammered, Shengying seems to be a very powerful postpartum care center. A confinement center, one that costs tens of thousands of dollars a month to stay. Several people came over, their faces filled with surprise. A few tens of thousands. No, this one starts at 500,000. It's so expensive, why don't you just go and rob it? That's right, my friend's daughter-in-law insisted on going to a confinement center that costs 50,000 yuan a month. My friend was almost heartbroken. How could my friend jump off a building if the cost starts at 500,000 yuan? Although this community is considered a high-end residential complex, in reality, most of the residents are still middle class. When it comes to a confinement center that costs 50,000 yuan a month, they might be able to accept it. But when they hear about 500,000 yuan, they are all shocked. It must be expensive to hire someone from here, right? Needless to say, I just read the introduction of Shengying. I heard that the nutritionists there earn a minimum of 100,000 a month, which is higher than my son's salary. Chapter 260, no wonder I can't see it. Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu certainly didn't care what the uncles and aunts were discussing. They have returned home happily. Because the nutritionist and confinement nanny are not at work yet, Su Yuan's mother volunteered to cook today. Thinking of her healthy meal, Zhao Qingsu quickly stood up and offered to help, but was pushed back to the sofa by Su Yuan's mother. "You are already a double-body person, so you should just lie down and don't move. Leave the cooking to me, your mother." "Mom, it's okay. I'm only less than a month old. How can I be so delicate?" "You have to be careful even if it's less than a month." Su Yuan's mother pushed her down on the sofa without saying anything and pulled Su Yuan over to sit next to her. "Keep an eye on your wife." Looking at Zhao Qingsu's helpless eyes, Su Yuan knew what she was thinking. He smiled slightly and pulled his mother's clothes. "Mom, your grandchildren are in Qingsu's belly now, so you can't eat dishes without any oil or water." "I definitely know that." Su Yuan looked determined to win. "Don't worry, I guarantee you'll be satisfied today." Su Yuan's father's eyes lit up. "Can we make fried meatballs today, or braised lion's head or something? You're not pregnant, so you don't get any share." Watching Su Yuan's mother enter the kitchen, Su Yuan's father sighed deeply. "If you want to capture a man's heart, you must first capture his stomach. When your mother was young, she cooked my favorite food every day. How come she changed when she got older? Son, do you think your mother doesn't love me anymore?" "Buff." Su Yuan was drinking water, and after hearing what his father said, he almost spit out the water in his mouth. He wiped his mouth and said, "Dad, don't let my mom hear you saying this, or you'll have to eat a diet for at least a month." Zhao Qingsu listened to the conversation between the two and smiled for a while with her hands covering her mouth. When she lowered her head, she found that her cell phone vibrated and there was a message. She glanced at the note and saw that it was a message from her eldest cousin. "Qingsu, happy wedding. I was too busy recently and didn't have time to attend your wedding. I will be returning to China tomorrow and will come to see you then. Looking at the message, Zhao Qingsu was stunned for a moment. She didn't expect that she would come to see her. Her older cousin's name is Dong Cheng, and she is the typical child from other people's families. I didn't have much contact with her, only met her a few times. She was a very serious and hardworking person. She was extremely smart and hardworking since she was young. She was always the top student in the class in every exam. When she grew up, she was the top student in the grade. Later, she got into a good university and then went to study and work abroad. She didn't even have time to attend Zhao Qingsu's wedding this time. It was said that she was doing some very important experiment in the laboratory. In fact, the two of them had hardly any contact, and their relationship was not good. This time, she inexplicably said that she wanted to come and see him, which made Zhao Qingsu a little confused. But after being confused for a moment, Zhao Qingsu felt relieved again. After all, she is her cousin. She is very happy that such a great person like her wants to come and see her. So she asked, "Cousin, when will you arrive in Shanghai tomorrow? I'll pick you up." Dong Cheng on the other side was not polite either. "The flight is tomorrow afternoon." "Okay, then my husband and I will come pick you up tomorrow." After agreeing on a time, Zhao Qingsu turned around and told Su Yuan about this. Su Yuan was also very welcome. "Let me tell you, my cousin is amazing. I heard she earns over $1 million a year now, and she's also very beautiful." Zhao Qingsu praised her elder cousin a lot. Su Yuan's expression was indifferent, and he chuckled. "Your cousin is so powerful, aren't you afraid that I will be kidnapped by your cousin? He, if you were so easily abducted, you wouldn't be my husband, tilde. Since he had already agreed to pick someone up, Su Yuan took Zhao Qingsu to the airport to pick him up as promised the next afternoon. It didn't take long before Dong Cheng was called. Although she was mentally prepared, Zhao Qingsu was still amazed the moment she saw Dong Cheng. Dong Cheng has short hair, wears a slanted collared off-shoulder top and tight suit pants, 10-centimeter high heels, fiery red lips, charming eyes, and a very strong aura. At first glance, she is a strong woman who works hard in the workplace. After she saw Zhao Qingsu, she walked towards this side slowly. "Qingsu, long time no see, you are still so beautiful." After that, he ruffled her hair and said lovingly, "Hey, you seem to be a lot fatter than the last time I saw you. It must be because your brother-in-law has taken such good care of you." After saying that, his eyes fell on Su Yuan. Her eyes were full of amazement. She had seen Su Yuan's photos before. From the photos, she could see that he had delicate features and was definitely one of the best handsome guys. But now that I see him in person, his temperament and dress add a lot of points to him. He could be said to be her ideal man. But it's such a pity that such a handsome man actually walked into the marriage grave with her cousin so early. "Hello, Su Yuan." For some reason, Su Yuan didn't like Dong Cheng's aggressive gaze. He frowned subconsciously and then briefly introduced himself. "Well, my name is Dong Cheng. I'm sure you already know that I'm Qingsu's eldest cousin." Dong Cheng shook hands with Su Yuan, then continued to look at Zhao Qingsu and said, "The last time I saw you, I thought you were a little girl. I didn't expect that you would get married in the blink of an eye. I, your cousin, am 6 years older than you, and I don't even have a boyfriend yet." Zhao Qingsu didn't think too much about it. She held Su Yuan's arm and smiled happily. "Cousin, you are too busy to fall in love. As for me, I just happened to meet the right person. You little girl are really lucky." Dong Cheng finished speaking, as if he remembered something. "By the way, I checked your circle of friends. Are you pregnant?" "Yes." Touching her belly a little embarrassedly, Zhao Qingsu said coquettishly, "It's only been less than a month. No wonder you couldn't tell. Here, this is for you." Dong Cheng took out a bottle of folic acid from her bag and said, "I don't have anything good to give you. Remember to supplement folic acid during pregnancy. This is from our laboratory. I'll give it to you." "Thank you, cousin tilde. Zhao Qingsu accepted it with surprise. "Cousin, let's go have dinner and chat at the table." "You little foodie." Dong Cheng looked at Zhao Qingsu lovingly. Then she slightly lifted the short hair beside her ear and glanced at Su Yuan inadvertently with a vague charm. Chapter 261, I Am the Rent Collector. Because Zhao Qingsu asked Dong Cheng what she wanted to eat one day in advance, and she said she wanted to eat Korean barbecue, so Zhao Qingsu booked a barbecue restaurant this time. This barbecue restaurant is very famous in Shanghai. It is a time-honored brand that has been open for many years. Dong Cheng had been here once when he was in school, but now this barbecue restaurant is completely unfamiliar to her. As soon as she walked in, she began to look around the decoration, and then she sighed. "I didn't expect that. I haven't been back to China for only 3 or 4 years, and the changes in China have been so great." Now our country is developing so rapidly. Cousin, your exclamation is so Versailles. Isn't it better for you to stay in a developed country than here? Each has its own advantages. Led by the waiter, the three of them entered the private room that had been booked in advance. Dong Cheng once again sighed. The service level in our country has improved a lot. The three of them sat down separately. Dong Cheng elegantly pushed the menu in front of Zhao Qingsu and Su Yuan. Order whatever you want. Zhao Qingsu quickly retreated. Cousin, I specially invited you to dinner this time. Why are you so polite? I'm not being polite to you. Aren't you a double-breasted person? Of course, the pregnant woman is the most powerful person in the world. Dong Cheng put the menu in front of her without saying a word. Zhao Qingsu was helpless. Then I'll order it. Dong Cheng nodded. Well, order whatever you want. I don't have any dietary restrictions, so I'll eat anything. After she finished speaking, she glanced at Su Yuan casually. Brother-in-law, do you have any dietary restrictions? My wife knows everything. Su Yuan replied indifferently and did not continue talking to Dong Cheng. Instead, he lowered his head and ordered food with Zhao Qingsu. Seeing that the dipping sauce she ordered was spicy, Su Yuan crossed it out in annoyance. Aren't you afraid of getting a sore throat after eating so many chilies? Just try the salt and pepper one. Zhao Qingsu said pitifully, but the salt and pepper ones taste a bit tasteless. Then order something slightly spicy, but don't eat too much chili. I know, husband tilde. The two of them were talking as if no one was around. Dong Cheng just pursed his lips slightly when he saw the two of them. After they ordered their dishes, he smiled and said, I didn't expect that your relationship is really as good as the legend says. Originally, Zhao Qingsu had always been a very low-key and well-behaved girl in the family. She didn't have a very deep impression of Zhao Qingsu before. She just knew that she had a very obedient cousin who was pretty and had been admitted to a pretty good university. But no further news is known. It's just that a while ago, her circle of friends was suddenly flooded with posts about her cousin's wedding. The wedding scene was so luxurious that even she could not have imagined it. This made her curious, and she started to look through her cousin's circle of friends. You won't know until you see it. You will be shocked when you see it. You don't realize that your cousin has grown into such a beautiful young lady. And the husband who gave her the grand wedding was also very handsome. They are indeed an enviable couple. Zhao Qingsu is even known as the ceiling of the wealthy families. She has experienced a lot and always feels that what she sees on the surface is not necessarily the truth, let alone what she sees in the circle of friends. Therefore, she didn't take this matter to heart and planned to find out the details first. What surprised her was that what she saw in the circle of friends was actually true. Some things can be faked, but it is too difficult to fake the intimate interaction between two people. What do you mean by legendary? Zhao Qingsu looked at Dong Cheng with a bit of envy in her eyes. Cousin, I heard that you are doing well abroad now. Everyone says that you are the most promising one in our class. Those men can't compare to you. When I got married some time ago, didn't you say you were very busy? Why are you coming back now all of a sudden? I was really busy with a project some time ago. I was immersed in the laboratory doing experiments every day and couldn't get away at all. During this period, I thought it over. A friend of mine said he wanted to start a business in China and needed my technical support. I thought that my family and most of my friends are in China. It would be more comfortable to develop in China than abroad in the future, so I plan to return to China for development during this period. Dong Cheng explained with a smile. Zhao Qingsu admired her even more after hearing her words. Cousin, you are really amazing. If that's the case, you will be a strong woman with your own company in the future. It's just a small company, it's still in its infancy, it hasn't even started yet. How can you be called a strong woman? With a deep sigh, Dong Cheng took Zhao Qingsu's hand and patted it. To be honest, I really envy you, my cousin. You have good vision and found a good husband. Now you can live a worry-free life even if you don't have to work hard. Compared with me, you are much happier, okay? I'm not as good as you, cousin. With your ability, there's nothing you can't accomplish easily. Maybe when women get together, they just flatter each other. As they talked, they started to praise each other's business. Su Yuan, who was standing by, was tired of listening and didn't bother to interrupt, so he just quietly grilled meat for Zhao Qingsu. He wrapped the roasted golden beef in lettuce, sprinkled it with pepper and salt, put cucumber shreds and tomato slices on it, and handed it to Zhao Qingsu. You two should stop talking. You still have to eat. If you hadn't told me, I would have forgotten that I was hungry. Zhao Qingsu took it, ate half of it, and handed the remaining half to Su Yuan. Hubby, your roast is really delicious. If it tastes good, eat more. Brother-in-law, what do you do? Seeing the two showing their affection, Dong Cheng pretended not to notice it and turned the topic to Su Yuan. In fact, she asked the question even though she knew the answer. Since her target for contacting Zhao Qingsu this time was Su Yuan, she must have known all of Su Yuan's information in advance. I know that he owns many properties and is also the chairman of Green Rice Company. Oh, I just collect rent and do nothing in the company. In fact, except for major matters that require him to review documents and make decisions, all other matters are left to Zin Ziolai. Anyway, the company's discovery system is now complete and can operate normally without him. Brother-in-law, you are being too modest, aren't you? With your current financial situation, how can you possibly achieve that by just collecting rent? Dong Cheng leaned closer to Su Yuan and said, I heard that your brother-in-law is the chairman of Lumi Company. Since Su Yuan was unwilling to speak up, she had to take the initiative. That's right. So it's true. But brother-in-law, you're too relaxed as the chairman, aren't you? Others are working so hard, but you're just playing with my cousin every day. Chapter 262. A 28-year-old girl, isn't that called a 28-year-old girl? Company affairs are handled by company personnel. Otherwise, where would the salaries I pay them every month go? In fact, when Su Yuan was first targeted by the system twice, he was still a little worried. He was afraid that he would have to work hard for the company, but in the end he would not get any benefits from the company, but would lose himself instead. But after I actually became the chairman of the board, I realized, no wonder everyone wants to be the boss. Because being a boss may seem tiring on the surface, but it is actually very easy. There are only a few things to do every day, but you can mobilize the company's resources at will. As long as you find the right person to do the right job, you have nothing to do at all, and you can even be a hands-off boss. As expected of a big chairman, your thinking is not on the same level as a small person like me. Dong Cheng praised Su Yuan a few words, and seeing that Zhao Qingsu's mouth was blocked by the barbecue fed by Su Yuan, and she had no time to talk to her, he continued to get close to Su Yuan. Speaking of which, brother-in-law, now that you are so rich, do you make some investments when you have free time? Lumi has a company that specializes in venture capital. These things are handled by professionals, so I don't have to worry about it. Lumi has grown so big now that everyone thinks that it only makes mobile phones and smart homes, but in fact it is involved in a very wide range of industries. Only some of its outstanding performances are well known, while others are more low-key. For example, few people know about venture capital. Hearing Su Yuan's words, Dong Cheng couldn't hold back his excitement, but he remained reserved on the surface. So that's how it is. Then, brother-in-law, I have a project here. Do you want to take a look? Huh, cousin, does your company still need investment now? After hearing what Dong Cheng said, Zhao Qingsu swallowed the food in her mouth and asked this question. She also roughly understood why her cousin, whom she hadn't contacted for many years, contacted her. After all, it turned out to be for investment. This couldn't help but make her feel a little depressed. What you said? Nowadays, who doesn't need money to run a business? Although we already have some money and borrowed another 5 million from the bank, it's still not enough, so we still need to attract investment. Dong Cheng finished speaking. I didn't think about my brother-in-law at first. Didn't we just talk about that? Don't think too much. I'm not using my relationship as a backdoor to get in. If you don't want to use your relationship as a backdoor, why come to her? Zhao Qingsu complained inwardly for a moment, then looked at Su Yuan. Su Yuan nodded, yeah. Brother-in-law, how about this? Let's make an appointment alone later. You can take a look at the project I have. If you are interested and think it has development prospects, then invest. If you think the risk is too high or you are not interested in our project, you can also reject me. Our relationship is one thing and business is another. I have to say Dong Cheng is very good at speaking. After she said that, if Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu refused, it would seem that they were narrow-minded. Zhao Qingsu didn't really understand this kind of thing anyway, and usually listened to Su Yuan, so she didn't say anything. Su Yuan agreed because Dong Cheng was Zhao Qingsu's cousin. Okay, when the time comes, send me the documents about this project and I'll take a look. If it's suitable, I can invest. Why don't we make an appointment so I can introduce it to you? There are too many professional terms involved, and it's hard for people who are not in this field to understand. Dong Cheng smiled and said again. Su Yuan had no objection either. Seeing that he agreed, Dong Cheng stopped talking about the investment and chatted with Zhao Qingsu about family matters. He kept asking her what her family had been doing during the years she was away from the country. The atmosphere became better. After dinner, Zhao Qingsu originally wanted to send Dong Cheng home, but Dong Cheng said that she didn't want to disturb their world of two, so she asked her friend to pick her up, which seemed very sensible. Zhu'er, I'm so upset. As soon as Zhao Qingsu and Su Yuan returned home, Qi Han sent a message. Looking at the series of crying faces on the screen, Zhao Qingsu asked, "What's wrong? You eat and sleep all day, what else can you be worried about?" "Of course I have. My mom asked me to go on a blind date tomorrow. Did you know that? I never thought that one day I would end up on a blind date." Qi Han felt very depressed when he said this. After all, she is a young girl in her prime. It's not like she can't find a boyfriend. Why should she go on a blind date? Although she has never seen pork, she has seen pigs run. For example, the blind date group in her office basically met some monsters. After all, as the saying goes, the good cabbages have long been eaten up by pigs and are left to rot in the fields and no one wants them. So that's why people go on blind dates. She is going to pick up rotten cabbage. Zhao Qingsu immediately grasped the key point of her words. You call yourself a 28-year-old girl. A 28-year-old girl? Isn't that called a 28-year-old girl? It makes so much sense that I can't refute it. HMPH Qingsu, let me tell you, the reason I was forced to go on a blind date this time is also because of you. It's because your wedding photos were so beautiful some time ago. I showed them to my mother, and she forced me to get married. Now I don't even dare to tell her that you're pregnant, otherwise I think she would force me to have a child through my father's help. Qi Han complained a lot. Zhao Qingsu listened lazily and picked her ears. Stop talking so much nonsense. Just tell me what you want to do. What can my lovely little kitty Qi do? Of course I want you to go with me tilde. Zhao Qingsu hesitated for a moment. It's not good to have outsiders present during a blind date, right? It would be even more awkward if there were no outsiders around. You said we are not familiar with each other and have never met before. We have nothing in common to talk about. Besides, I am a bit phobic and I am really afraid of meeting strangers. My dear Qingsu, can you come with me? Under Qi Han's persistence, Zhao Qingsu finally agreed to go with her tomorrow. On the other hand, Su Yuan also agreed with Dong Cheng to meet tomorrow. The two sides met at about the same time, so they had to act separately. Soon it was the next day. Because it was Qi Han's blind date, Zhao Qingsu tried to dress simply and stood at the gate of the community waiting for Qi Han to pick her up. Qi Han arrived 10 minutes late. Her car stopped in front of Zhao Qingsu, and then a messy head popped out of the car. It's over, I got up late today. Chapter 263, don't worry. There's plenty of dog food. Sister, this is your blind date. I didn't get up late, but you told me you got up late. Zhao Qingsu looked at Qi Han and was speechless. Yesterday, in order to give the other party a good impression, she specially matched the clothes and makeup for Qi Han to wear today. As a result, this little ancestor didn't put on any makeup, didn't change her clothes, and didn't even comb her hair. What should I want her to say? Qi Han was a little anxious. Hurry up and get in the car. I'll talk to you later, don't be late. Zhao Qingsu sat helplessly on the passenger seat. When we get to the agreed restaurant, go to the bathroom and touch up your makeup, tidy up your hair and clothes. You have to leave a good first impression, right? That makes sense. Qi Han was silent for a moment, but because I left in such a hurry, I didn't bring my makeup bag. Okay, then you'll be single for the rest of your life, eating the dog food from me and my husband every day. Zhao Qingsu patted her shoulder and said, Don't worry, there's plenty of dog food. There was not much time left until the agreed time, and it was obviously too late to go back to get her makeup bag and change clothes. Qi Han had no choice but to drive to the agreed place. After parking the car in the agreed underground parking lot, Qi Han glanced at Zhao Qingsu, who was sitting in the passenger seat. Zhu'er, I think the reason why I look so haggard and slovenly is mainly because I am with you. There is no harm without comparison. So what? So do you want me to help you ruffle your hair and wrinkle your clothes, so that we can both look the same? Don't even think about it. Zhao Qingsu refused without hesitation, and even knocked away Qi Han's claws that were trying to touch her hair. Qi Han rubbed the back of his hand aggrievedly. I feel like you don't love me anymore. I never loved you. Qi Han, who lost the argument with Zhao Qingsu, was even more depressed. She rubbed her hair and suddenly laughed strangely. Qingsu, if I can't get married, I will rely on you for the rest of my life. Hello, are you Qi Han? Just when Qi Han was still messing with Zhao Qingsu, a very calm and clear voice suddenly came from behind him. Hearing this voice, Qi Han's back suddenly stiffened. She had messy hair and turned her neck mechanically, and then a pair of very clear eyes appeared. You got the wrong person, I'm not Qi Han. After she finished speaking, she subconsciously hid behind Zhao Qingsu, pushed her out, and sold her out directly. She is Qi Han. Zhao Qingsu was confused. Hey. Hello, didn't you ask me to come over to accompany you on your blind date? Now that your blind date is here, I'm leaving now and won't disturb you anymore. Bye. Chi-Han turned around and wanted to slip away. But the next second, her way was blocked. It was the boy wearing a red plaid shirt with very clear eyes. He had a gentle expression on his face and held a cell phone in his hand. I don't know her, but I know you. You are Chi-Han. His words made Chi-Han feel even more ashamed, and he just wanted to escape. Little brother, I have never seen you before. I am really not Chi-Han. You really recognize the wrong person. Can't she just go home and change her clothes and put on some makeup? Why is God so cruel to her? Other people's blind dates are all those greasy uncles or all kinds of weirdos. But why is she given such a clean and cute little brother? But the point is that she can't even show up in public like this. Chi-Han now wished he could dig a hole and crawl into it. He was so embarrassed that he had dug out a 3-bedroom, 1-living-room apartment under his feet. I won't make a mistake, I'll show you the photo. The man opposite unlocked his phone with his fingerprint, then clicked on a dialog box and tapped a photo from it. Damn it, who the hell sent you this? When Chi-Han saw the photo, he was stunned. It looked like she had just got up in the morning. She was wearing a rose-red pajamas with a weird aesthetic taste and sitting on the sofa playing with her mobile phone. Her hair was a mess like a bird's nest, and she had 2 big black eyes. She was looking at the phone with a mysterious smile on her face. Is this her? Is this still the little fairy in the circle of friends who doesn't even poop? Did the goddess image that she worked so hard to maintain collapse just like that? Now Chi-Han was too lazy to figure out what kind of image she had in the eyes of this handsome and clean young man. What she wanted to do most now was to chop the person who leaked this picture of her into pieces, and then steam, braise, or stew him. It was sent to me by the matchmaker. The boy opposite had an innocent look on his face, still smiling gently, but I think she's quite special and not too different from you in person. I rarely see girls as real as you. Matchmaker. Chi-Han frowned. So where did the matchmaker's photo come from? It seems to be sent by your mother. Chi-Han was squatting in the corner drawing circles. What a mother! Did she want her to never get married? Are you still going to eat? If you don't want to eat with me, I understand. Since it was his own mother who came out to trick him, Chi-Han had nothing to say and could only accept this cruel fact helplessly. No, you're so real and cute. I think we can have a meal, then chat and get in touch with each other again. The man opposite was still gentle and kind, but what he said made Chi-Han's eyes light up. You are not kidding me. Blind dates are a serious matter. I'm not kidding you. Then let's go eat. Chi-Han was so happy that her mood immediately became cheerful. However, when she turned around and saw her messy hair, she was still a little embarrassed. So after entering the restaurant, she went to the bathroom to tidy up her hair. Her appearance made Zhao Qingsu, her best friend, feel helpless. She could only explain to Tongxi on the other side. My friend is not like this normally. She had a small accident today. I know, I don't think it's a big deal. Tongxi was quite open-minded and remained calm and gentle. Not to mention Chi-Han, Zhao Qingsu also had a good impression of him. She always felt that he was not such a superficial person. The key point was that his personality was so gentle. This kind of personality matches Chi-Han very well. If the two of them were together, it would be a good thing, right? Chapter 264, You Are Too Much. About 10 minutes later, Chi-Han finished doing his hair and came out of the bathroom. Although he still looks a little unkempt, he still manages to be acceptable. Brother, I heard you are a programmer. To be honest, before the blind date, Chi-Han had no idea what kind of person the man was. She only vaguely heard from her mother that the man was a programmer. But to be honest, Chi-Han didn't have a good impression of programmers. When she heard the word programmer, the image that came to her mind was a bearded and unkempt man, and then the weird programmer that her office colleague met on a blind date. Yes, I work as a front-end developer. I've only graduated 3 years ago, so my salary isn't very high right now. After tax, I make about 11,000 yuan. Tongxi was not only honest, but also did not beat around the bush. He directly told everyone his salary. Your salary is already very high, okay? My current salary is only around 9,000. Chi-Han's eyes sparkled. You are so pretty and earn so much. Why haven't you found a girlfriend yet? I'm not afraid of you laughing at me, but I'm actually not very sociable, and even worse at dealing with girls, so I've never had a girlfriend since I was a child. However, I've been on blind dates 6 times, and most of the girls thought that my salary was too low and that my job didn't have much of a future. Some of the girls also thought that I wasn't tall enough. Tongxi honestly told all his shortcomings. Chi-Han slammed the table and said, What nonsense are you talking about? Your current height is perfect. In fact, Tongshi is not very tall. He is only 175 cm tall, but he is thin and looks very clean. Anyway, I'm in line with Chi Han's aesthetic standards. Zhao Qingsu always felt that Chi Han's eyes were shining now. She reluctantly tugged at Chi Han's clothes secretly. Can you be a little more reserved? Why are you being so reserved? If I continue to be so reserved, I will never be able to get married in this life. Aren't you afraid that you might scare people away? Chi Han blinked confidently. Don't worry, this one will definitely not get away. I will definitely get this dish. When Chi Han gets enthusiastic, it's not something that ordinary people can bear. As her best friend, Zhao Qingsu got goosebumps watching her. However, based on the principle of not ruining her best friend's good deeds, she could only eat quietly and serve as a background. Look over there, what's going on? That's right, I've been observing for quite some time and found that the goddess was ignored and nobody paid any attention to her. What kind of world is this? No, I have to go save the goddess. She was quietly serving as a background figure, but the boys eating at a table nearby were not so quiet. They all looked quite young, probably students from a nearby university. When they saw that Zhao Qingsu was being ignored and Chi Han and Tongshi were chatting happily, they rushed up to Zhao Qingsu and asked for her contact information. But Chi Han stopped him. Why do you want my best friend's WeChat? Let me tell you, my best friend is already taken, don't think too much. When I heard that Zhao Qingsu had a girlfriend, several people left with some disappointment. One of them glanced at Chi Han in annoyance and said, Ugly people are more likely to cause trouble. We are not your WeChat account. Why are you talking so much? Hey, you're going too far. Chi Han was so angry at what that person said. I'm just not wearing any makeup. If I were, I'd still let you lick my ass. Okay, don't bother with them. They are just a bunch of young students. Tongshi grabbed Chi Han's arm. Chi Han was still a little depressed. Tongshi put a piece of beef in front of her with chopsticks and whispered, It doesn't matter whether others think you are beautiful or not, as long as I think you are beautiful. In fact, after Chi Han graduated and joined the company a year ago, she had a lot of contact with boys, and there were also some smooth, talking boys who showed her attention. If someone else said something like what Tongshi just said, she would probably just feel like she had goosebumps all over her body. But the strange thing was that after Tongshi said this, she actually felt that the words were particularly pleasant to hear. Even, it made her heart beat uncontrollably. This is what being in love feels like. What? You picked a good place. While Zhao Qingsu was accompanying Chi Han on a blind date, Su Yuan also drove his own car to the coffee shop where he had agreed to meet with Dong Cheng. This is a very private cafe. The location is a little remote, but the environment is elegant. Each seat is separated by a small private green barrier. On the stage in the middle of the hall, a girl in a white dress is playing the piano, Peace Moonlight. As soon as Su Yuan walked to the door, the waiter took him to the agreed seat. Dong Cheng arrived early. Although Dong Cheng still has short hair today, she is wearing an elegant little black dress and white feather earrings, looking much gentler and more charming. Compared with yesterday, she lacks the capable flavor of a strong woman. Hearing Su Yuan's words, Dong Cheng curled her red lips and said, I don't know if you like this place or not. If you don't like it, we can change it at any time. It's just a place to talk about work. It's the same everywhere. Su Yuan took a look at her and saw that she didn't seem to have any intention of taking out the information, so he took the initiative to ask, Didn't you say you would introduce the project you have to me? But I see that you don't seem to have prepared anything. How could I not prepare anything? Of course I did. Dong Cheng picked up the menu and pushed it in front of Su Yuan. Her movements were difficult, and when she leaned forward, you could see the elegant lines of her arms extending to her shoulders, and from her shoulders down there was a deep, alluring line. We can talk about work slowly. The coffee in this cafe is very professional. It is a great experience to enjoy a cup of coffee of your favorite flavor here and listen to a song of moonlight. After pushing the menu in front of Su Yuan, Dong Cheng put his hand away as if nothing had happened. Su Yuan frowned slightly and ordered a glass of Blue Mountain. I'm just like you. Dong Cheng looked at Su Yuan with eyes full of surprise. Do you like to drink Blue Mountain? I like it too, but unfortunately there are very few authentic Blue Mountains in China. The Blue Mountain in this store tastes good, but it can only be said to be mediocre. Chapter 265, What are you doing? Oh, I just ordered whatever I wanted. Facing Dong Cheng's praise, Su Yuan replied indifferently, I think it's better for us to talk about business. After all, apart from Zhao Qingsu, there is not much relationship between the two of them. You really don't understand romance. Facing Su Yuan's attitude, Dong Cheng secretly complained in her heart, but she still smiled elegantly. I came to you today to discuss business, but my project is an ongoing project. In order to present the best side to you, I asked my colleague to send the latest data and then introduce it to you. It will probably take another 5 minutes. Can I talk to you about something else during these 5 minutes? Su Yuan was non-committal. Oh, is it that complicated? It's not complicated. I just hope to have a better chance of winning your investment. Dong Cheng finished speaking, took a sip of the coffee in front of him, and then changed the subject. Brother-in-law, my cousin has been pregnant for a month. You must have had a hard time during this month, right? Pregnant women tend to have a more irritable temper. Why is it hard? Speaking of Zhao Qingsu, Su Yuan's eyes softened a little, and the corners of his mouth slightly raised. She should be the one who is suffering. Brother-in-law, you are such a good man. I really envy my cousin for being with you. You are so considerate. Dong Cheng said with a meaningful smile. According to my observation in a marriage relationship, if one party is particularly considerate, then that party must be the one who is wronged. I wonder if what I said is right or not. You seem very interested in getting married. I'm just curious. Dong Cheng said, standing up. Brother-in-law, I see that you don't seem to be very interested in drinking coffee. If that's the case, why don't we talk somewhere else? That place is a little less private. A little less private. Su Yuan looked left and right. Although the environment of this coffee shop was quite nice, there were really not many people. I was thinking, isn't this place very private? But some places offer more privacy. Dong Cheng also found that there was no one around, so she boldly walked behind Su Yuan, put her beautiful fingers on his shoulders and gently stroked. Brother-in-law, you don't have to hide so much. I know that you have a good relationship with my cousin, and I don't mean to destroy the relationship between you two. It's just that I think you are very good and you happen to need it. It's not a shocking thing for the two of us to comfort each other. What do you think? Oh. Su Yuan moved his shoulders calmly and said, I think you have found the wrong person. I trust my own judgment. Dong Cheng remained calm as he watched Su Yuan shake off his hand. As a man, he always has to go through some psychological struggle before taking that step. She looked down at Su Yuan, her eyes full of temptation and aggression. Actually, you don't have to be on guard against me like this. With your current status and position, I am just a small ant. I can't threaten you with this kind of thing, let alone take advantage of you. I will definitely not let my cousin know. You don't have to worry about anything. Just be happy with me. After she finished speaking, she stared into Su Yuan's beautiful eyes. She was confident that men could not resist such temptation. Ugh. But the next second, the brown coffee liquid splashed directly at him, scalding Dong Cheng so much that he covered his face and screamed. She didn't expect this result, and hurriedly took a tissue from the table and wiped the coffee off her face and neck. Fortunately, although the coffee was boiling hot when it was served, it had cooled down a lot after the two of them talked for a while. Although it was still slightly hot, it was not enough to burn them. But she was greatly insulted by Su Yuan's action. You, what are you doing? Su Yuan's eyes were as clear as 1,000-year-old ice. The smile on his lips looked as sharp as the cold light on a dagger. Of course, I want you to wake up and recognize who you really are. You are Qingsu's eldest cousin, and you are a highly educated person, but you actually seduce your own cousin's husband. Have you lost all the books you've read over the years? Su Yuan's words were sharper and more heartbreaking than the last. This also made Dong Cheng barely wake up. She didn't dare to cause trouble for Su Yuan, so she could only keep apologizing. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. I was just bewildered for a moment. I don't care whether you are possessed by a ghost or you set a trap for me on purpose. For Qingsu's sake, I will not bother with you about this matter. However, you still have to pay the price. Su Yuan looked at Dong Cheng with disgust in his eyes. I will follow up on the project you mentioned, and I will make sure you don't get a single cent of investment from now on. Also, I don't want my wife to know about our conversation today. Otherwise, your fate will not be just this simple. Yes, yes. Dong Cheng nodded quickly. Meanwhile, Su Yuan's cell phone rang. He took out his cell phone and saw the word wife on the caller ID. His eyes, which had been frozen for a moment, suddenly became warm like flowers blooming in spring, and his voice was so gentle that it seemed to drip water. Is your blind date going well? Zhao Qingsu didn't know what happened to Su Yuan. She looked at Tongxi and Qi Han, who were fighting fiercely, and sighed. I don't know whether to say it was going smoothly or not. Shall I come pick you up now? Come and pick me up now. I don't want to be a light bulb anymore. Okay, send me the location, and I'll be right over. After Su Yuan hung up the phone, he just looked at Dong Cheng coldly, turned around and left. Dong Cheng silently wiped the coffee stains off his body, took a deep breath, and looked in the direction where Su Yuan left, his eyes filled with fear and jealousy. I really don't know what he likes about his silly cousin. Her cousin is almost useless except for her pretty appearance. She is not even qualified to study abroad. She is well-educated, smart, understanding, and proactive in showing goodwill. Why should you reject her? This world is really not fair at all. She worked so hard, but in the end she didn't get married as well as her cousin. No wonder everyone likes to marry a rich man. Chapter 266. Can you do anything? I don't believe it. While Dong Cheng was still unbalanced, Su Yuan had already reached the location where Zhao Qingsu had sent the attack. Come on, Qingsu, come shopping with us. Zhao Qingsu saw that Tong Shi and Qi Han's arms were entangled together, and it was obvious that they had confirmed their relationship. She shook her head and said, I feel a little uncomfortable, so I'm going home first. You can go shopping by yourselves. You're not feeling well, where are you feeling unwell? When Qi Han heard that Zhao Qingsu was not feeling well, he immediately became nervous. He went forward to hold her arm and stared at her belly seriously. Is this little guy bothering you? You are still young and you really can't walk much. Forget it, you can talk about love anytime. I will take you home first. As he said this, he was about to say goodbye to Tong Shi. Zhao Qingsu quickly grabbed her and said, I've called my husband and asked him to pick me up. He should be here soon. You guys can go and have fun. Is that so? Okay then, I'll stay here with you while you wait for Brother Yuan to come. Okay. Qi Han kept his word. Although he wanted to dig out his eyeballs and stick them on Tong Shi when he stood with Zhao Qingsu, he still insisted on waiting for Su Yuan to arrive before leaving with Tong Shi. Su Yuan's eyes widened when he saw the two of them holding hands from behind. Is this Qi Han's blind date? Zhao Qingsu nodded helplessly. Yes, Han said it was love at first sight. I don't mind falling in love at first sight, but isn't this happening too fast? Even Li Hao didn't get the hang of it that fast. Is that blind date a senior Sea King? At the beginning, Zhao Qingsu had a good impression of Tong Shi. But after hearing what Su Yuan said, she also became worried. After all, you can't judge a person by his appearance. Tong Shi and Qi Han have only known each other for a few hours, and they are all ready. She thought about it and sent a message to remind Qi Han on the way home. Qi Han sent a series of ha-ha-ha-ha-ha. Don't worry, if he dares to cheat on me, I will find another Tong to marry and give birth to a son named Tong Shi. If I can't be his wife, I will be his mother. Zhao Qingsu held up her phone and showed it to Su Yuan. It's true that we are worrying too much. Anyway, Qi Han is already an adult, and Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu can't really interfere in his relationship, so they can only let it go. Zhao Qingsu asked about her cousin. Husband, how was your conversation with my cousin? Oh, although her project is quite good, it doesn't quite fit the development prospects of our country. It would be better to develop it abroad, so I suggested that she go abroad for development. Not only that, she may have to go abroad again in a short time. I see, that's really a pity. When I got home, it was already past 3 in the afternoon. Su Yuan's father was lying upstairs watching TV, while Su Yuan's mother took Dettol and cleaned everywhere. She didn't leave out any corner of the house, making it spotless, even wiping clean the leaves of the flowers. Seeing her attitude, Zhao Qingsu hurried forward and said, Mom, there will be an auntie coming to clean up the place on the weekend. You don't have to be so tired. Not tired, not tired. I have nothing to do all day, so it's a good time to move around. Su Yuan's mother waved her hand, then pointed to a large, tightly packed box at the door and said, By the way, that's your express delivery, right? 2 young men brought it here, saying it was from some company. I don't remember clearly. Take a look and see who it belongs to. Zhao Qingsu hadn't bought anything recently. She looked at Su Yuan with some confusion. Honey, is this your delivery? Su Yuan leaned over to take a look. The cardboard box was quite heavy. He took a utility knife and cut open the outermost layer of packaging. There was a layer of bubble paper inside. He pulled the foam paper aside again and found an aluminum box inside. The material was similar to that of a safe, but its size and shape were very similar to a coffin. When Su Yuan's mother saw this thing, she frowned and said, Son, this is not sent by your enemy, right? Mom, do you know how much it costs to customize a box like this? My enemy can't afford it even if he spends all his money. Su Yuan smiled bitterly and entered the password skillfully. The box slowly opened automatically. Lying inside is a robot with the same body proportions as a human, wrapped in a soft white shell, looking very cute. Oh, you bought such a big doll. Su Yuan's mother's first reaction was that it was a huge doll. Su Yuan smiled bitterly. Mom, this thing is a super intelligent robot. Robot? When Su Yuan's mother heard that this thing was a robot, she immediately became interested. What kind of robot is this? It looks so fat, what can it do? I can do anything. Among the robots previously rewarded by the system, this one is of the highest level, with an intelligence level equivalent to that of a teenager, and can communicate normally with people. Of course, there are many things this robot can do. However, because the materials for robots of this level are too precious, they are not only difficult to make, but also extremely expensive, costing hundreds of millions, so large-scale production is obviously impossible. So far, only one has been produced and sent to Su Yuan. You can do anything? I don't believe it. Su Yuan's mother squatted beside it curiously and poked the robot's arm. It's so soft, it feels like it will fly away if the wind blows. Ding starting up for the first time. Looking at his mother's curious expression, Su Yuan smiled slightly and pressed the start button. Then the robot crawled out of the box by itself and began to scan Su Yuan's face. Ding, scanning completed, please name it. Well, from now on you will be called Snowman. Yes, master. The snowman was white and plump, and his voice was very gentle. After he finished speaking, he looked around curiously. Master, do you need the snowman to do anything now? Go pack up the garbage and put it at the door. Su Yuan gave an order casually. Receive. The snowman walked happily to the trash can, nimbly grabbed the trash bag inside the trash can, tied a knot, and put it at the door. Mission accomplished, master. This thing looks fat, but I didn't expect it to be so powerful. Su Yuan's mother came over curiously. Do you know me? Ding, scanning completed, master number 2. Seeing that she was also scanned, Su Yuan's mother asked curiously, what else can you do besides taking out the trash? You'll have to ask me what I can't do, master. Then what can't you do? I can do anything, master. Although the snowman is fat and has no expression on his face when he speaks, for some reason, it always makes people feel that it is very proud when it says this. Chapter 267 Mom, you taught me well. So awesome. Then can you help me mop the floor? Do you know how to use this vacuum cleaner? Maybe because the snowman's appearance was quite adorable, Su Yuan's mother was in high spirits and quickly dragged the snowman to do housework. Zhao Qingsu was watching from the side and was shocked. Honey, isn't this robot a little too smart? Not only can it communicate with Su Yuan's mother without any obstacles, but it also works so professionally, better than the hired housekeeper. It even imitates human actions and touches the dog's head when it sees Li Guo running around. At first, Li Guo was very resistant to this outsider, but after being touched on the dog's head many times, he actually showed a mysterious smile and accepted this big guy. This is not a robot. This is what a human being is all about, okay. Zhao Qingsu even suspected that Su Yuan had found someone to do this to make her happy. Of course. Su Yuan raised his eyebrows. My husband's products must be top-notch. From now on, this will be our nanny. What do you think? In fact, seeing that Zhao Qingsu worked very hard, Su Yuan wanted to find a live-in nanny. After all, the house was so big, but Zhao Qingsu didn't like outsiders at home, so even for cleaning, he only hired a scheduled nanny to come and clean every Saturday morning and leave after cleaning. The people he hired for the confinement center were also placed in another house in the community, and he only asked them to come when needed. It's good, but honey, this thing must be very expensive, right? Zhao Qingsu curiously leaned over and poked the snowman's body. It was soft and comfortable, like elastic foam. Su Yuan's mother didn't know, but she knew it very well. AI is so popular nowadays that any AI robot that is slightly intelligent costs a lot of money, let alone a creature as powerful as the snowman, which is definitely not cheap. The parts of the snowman are only about the same as the price of a piece of jewelry. It's not too expensive. In fact, although the snowman is expensive, the materials he used are nothing compared to his core technology and drawings. After all, the core parts of the snowman are something that only he can make in the world, and no one else dares to even think about it. The price of a piece of jewelry, 10 million. About 100 million. Husband. After hearing the price, Zhao Qingsu looked at Su Yuan seriously. I don't even dare to use the snowman now because of what you said. Why not? Don't you wear the jewelry normally? It's totally different, okay? Although I will wear those jewels outside, I am very careful every time I wear them for fear that they will be bumped or dented. After wearing them, I will wipe them clean with a dust cloth and put them in a box. But the snowman is different. What if he bumps into something while working? Wouldn't that be a huge loss? As Zhao Qingsu spoke, she suddenly wanted to stuff the snowman back into the box. This is walking money. Don't worry, I spent so much money to make it. How could it be so fragile? You will soon discover its new function tilde tilde. It is much more powerful than you think. Yeah. Zhao Qingsu looked at the snowman with some confusion. She didn't quite believe what Su Yuan said. But when she saw the way Su Yuan's mother interacted with the snowman, she thought that even if it was expensive, it was worth it as long as it could make Su Yuan's mother happy. Su Yuan's mother played with the snowman for a long time and successfully made the snowman do all the housework. Then she found that the snowman learned from her and did everything very well. She immediately boasted to Su Yuan and others at the dinner table. "Oh, our snowman is really smart. He can learn anything once he is taught." "You taught me well, Mom." Su Yuan praised helplessly and did not tell his mother that snowman could do it. "Really? Haha, I also think I teach well tilde tilde." Staring at the snowman's white and fat face for a while, Su Yuan's mother liked it more and more. She couldn't help but sigh, "It would be great if this was really a person. It's a pity that it's just a robot and can't even eat." When she said this, her eyes suddenly lit up. "By the way, robots also need to eat, right? Like batteries and stuff." After saying that, he excitedly ran to the living room, took out the batteries from the remote control, and then came up to the snowman and asked, "Is this what you are eating?" The snowman picked up the battery and looked at it. Then he used his backhand to pick out a piece of crystal fragment emitting pink light from his back. "I use this tilde tilde." "What is this?" Su Yuan's mother came over to take a look, then turned around and told Su Yuan, "Bring some more back. We can't let our snowman run out of food." "Mom, that's a concentrated crystal energy fragment. The energy contained in a small piece is enough for the snowman to use for 10 years. The snowman has 3 pieces installed on him. He will not fail for at least 30 years. Don't worry." "I see." Su Yuan's mother nodded and touched the snowman's head. "Put your energy fragments back quickly." "Receive." The snowman obediently installed his energy chip back, and did not forget to reinstall the battery that Su Yuan's mother had taken out into the remote control, which drew praise from Su Yuan's mother. Su Yuan said with some jealousy, "Mom, you never praised me like this when I was a child. It was good enough that I didn't beat you to death when you were a child." Su Yuan's mother rolled her eyes. "Every time you made a mistake, I would repeat to myself dozens of times, 'Don't hit children, don't hit children, don't hit children.' Otherwise, I would have beaten you to the point of paralysis, especially when I was teaching you to do your homework when you were little. I won't say more. I feel like my heart is racing now." "Mom, when did this happen?" Su Yuan was a little confused. Why didn't he remember this happening? He remembered that he did his homework very well when he was a child. Every time when he was halfway through writing, his mother would come in with a smile and bring him some fruit to eat. "When you were in kindergarten." "Is there a time when I was so stupid?" "What else do you think? Luckily, you became smart after you went to elementary school. Otherwise, I would have thought I gave birth to a pig." "Mom, you're taking it too far." Su Yuan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "I am your son after all. Don't listen to your mother's nonsense." Su Yuan's father next to him interrupted. "You didn't get smart in elementary school. It was your mom who couldn't do the elementary school questions, so I taught you." "Dad, you mean I was stupid in elementary school?" "Well, it was probably in junior high school that he gradually became as good as normal children." Su Yuan was silent for a moment. "Dad, you can't even solve the junior high school questions." Chapter 268, This is a Robot. A few people were bickering while eating. The snowman next to them tilted his head and listened, as if he understood, and even imitated Zhao Qingsu and laughed secretly. Zhao Qingsu was helpless. After dinner, Su Yuan's mother took Snowman to clean the table, while Zhao Qingsu looked at the countless messages urging her to broadcast on her mobile phone, and reluctantly opened her phone and started the live broadcast. "Zuer, you've been getting lazier recently. You haven't live streamed for several days, tilde tilde." "Yes, Zuer, if you don't go live again, I'm going to unfollow you. It's so painful to wait for you to start broadcasting every day." "Zuer, come and show me your husband. Have you taken good care of him?" Seeing the urging to broadcast on the barrage, Zhao Qingsu smiled slightly and said apologetically, "Well, because of a small problem during this period, I didn't have time to broadcast live, but don't worry, the live broadcast will continue, and I will adjust the time of the live broadcast according to the situation. In the future, there may be more outdoor live broadcasts, and the evening time is usually makeup time tilde tilde." After saying that, Zhao Qingsu spread out the various makeup products in front of her, and while applying foundation on herself, she answered several basic questions about beauty in the barrage. She was halfway through putting on her makeup and interacting with the comments when she suddenly remembered there was a knock on the door. She responded subconsciously, "Come in." This time she was doing the live broadcast on the dressing table in her bedroom. Su Yuan's mother usually wouldn't come into their room, so she thought it must be Su Yuan who came over and didn't pay much attention to it. But what she didn't expect was that the door was pushed open and a fat white figure came in. "Master, your fruit tilde tilde." The snowman came over and handed the fruit plate that had already been cut to Zhao Qingsu. Zhao Qingsu took a look at the dressing table and saw that there was no place to put it, so she casually said, "Put it on the coffee table next to the bay window." "Okay." The snowman moved flexibly and placed the fruit on the bay window. Originally, Zhao Qingsu thought it was nothing and was planning to continue explaining her makeup, but who knew that the style of the barrage changed completely because of this little episode. "Zuer, what is this? It's so cute, isn't it? Is this your servant? Is she required to wear such clothes to work? What era is this? Why do servants still have to call you master?" After glancing at the comments, Zhao Qingsu helplessly explained, "You guys think too much. This is not a servant, this is a robot." "Robots? Can robots be used as servants now? What kind of robot is this? Can you show it to us?" There are always surprises when I come to Zuer's live studio. Almost everyone was surprised and curious after seeing the snowman, and asked Zhao Qingsu to show them the snowman. Zhao Qingsu had no choice but to continue putting on makeup while introducing the snowman. The snowman is the latest product developed by my husband's company. It is said to be very smart. In fact, I have only used it for a day, but today I have observed that the snowman can basically do everything, including various housework. It can also skillfully use tools such as vacuum cleaners. And most importantly, it can communicate with my mother-in-law without any obstacles. The more Zhao Qingsu spoke, the more curious people in the barrage became. Are there really such powerful robots? In fact, there are all kinds of short videos on the internet now, and there are quite a few short videos about robots. However, most of the robots basically have preset words and then respond to people according to the script. Although it looks very interesting, in fact, it is just for making people happy. After all, robots are robots, and there is still a long way to go before they can communicate with humans without obstacles. Zuer, stop talking and show us quickly. Seeing all the urgings on the screen, Zhao Qingsu had no choice but to call the snowman in. The snowman came in happily at the first opportunity, followed by 3 little followers. "Master, what is the matter?" While the snowman was speaking, he was holding Li Guo's big rice bowl in his hand. Zhao Qingsu asked curiously, "What are you doing holding Li Guo's rice bowl?" "Grandma is teaching me how to cook for Li Guo." The snowman shook his head and showed Zhao Qingsu the rice bowl in his hand. "I have learned it now. Li Guo doesn't eat dog food. What he eats every day is chicken breast, beef, eggs, and some fresh fruits and vegetables." A lot of chicken breast and beef were bought in advance and placed in the refrigerator. When eating, they needed to be taken out and thawed, and then paired with eggs, fruits, and vegetables. In fact, it is quite troublesome to do this kind of thing every day. "The snowman is awesome." Zhao Qingsu praised him. "Then prepare Li Guo's meal first and then make me a cup of coffee. I want black coffee, no sugar or milk." "Yes, master." After receiving the instructions, the snowman turned around and left, but everyone was stunned by the smooth communication between it and Zhao Qingsu. "Is this really a robot? Why does it feel smarter than my dog? I feel like it's better to find a robot than a man. You call a man for a long time and he won't move, but it's different if you find a robot tilde tilde. You are dreaming, don't you think this robot is cheap?" Everyone looked at the snowman with great envy. In today's society, most young people are very lazy. Don't do housework if you can avoid it. The clothes pile is washed once every half a month. The dishes in the sink are washed once a week, and the floor is mopped once a month. Even so, I still feel that the frequency is very high. I am so tired. I wish there was no such thing as housework in the world. I can't afford a housekeeper, but if I had a robot like the snowman, that would be so cool. Zuer, will this robot be produced and put on the market in the future? After seeing the snowman, this became everyone's biggest concern. As for the second concern, how much is this robot? I don't know the answers to your questions for now, but I can ask my husband for you, and I'll tell you during the live broadcast tomorrow. While Zhao Qingsu was talking, the snowman over there had already dealt with Li Guo coming in. In his hand, he was holding a cup of black coffee without sugar or milk. "Master, your coffee." It handed the coffee to Zhao Qingsu. "The current coffee temperature is 72 degrees. It will drop to 60 degrees in about 3 minutes. This is the best drinking temperature for black coffee tilde tilde. Chapter 269. How do you think this matter can be resolved? Amidst the envious and curious voices, Zhao Qingsu looked at the time and saw that it was getting late, so she closed the live broadcast and promised to continue tomorrow. After closing the live broadcast, she came close to Su Yuan and said, "Honey, the snowman seems to be very popular. Many people asked me about the snowman today. Will this kind of robot be available on the market in the future? How can a Yeti so powerful give birth so easily?" Su Yuan pinched her face and said, "But there will be a low-end version of the snowman that will be on the market in a while, and the price will be very cheap." "How much will it cost?" "Trade secret." Snort. Seeing that Su Yuan was keeping it a secret, Zhao Qingsu didn't ask any more questions. She turned around and checked her private messages on her phone to see if there were any advertisers she could cooperate with. However, she saw some very different news in the private message. The other party's certification is the China Automation Association. The message he sent was an introduction to a robot competition. "Hello, I just watched your live broadcast, and I think the robots produced by your company are very technologically advanced. I wonder if you would like to participate in our competition." She didn't know anything about the robot competition, so she showed the news to Su Yuan. Su Yuan took a look and found that this competition was a high-level robot competition in the country. The competition is held once a year and not only invites students from relevant majors from various universities to participate, but also many companies and individuals come to participate. The competition categories are also divided into very detailed categories, with a total of 18 major events and 38 sub-events, covering all areas of land, sea, and air. The other party invited snowmen to participate in the smart home robot category. "But I think the snowman can participate in all other categories, except that he can't fly." Su Yuan looked through the competition rules. Basically, the snowman can do everything, including dancing, football, rescue, and even martial arts. The only thing the snowman can't do is fly, but this can be developed in the future. "Is the snowman so powerful? Can he dance?" "I know all kinds of dances, and I can even learn them." "But its body..." Zhao Qingsu glanced at the fat waist of the snowman next to her and pulled Su Yuan. "Husband, should we join or not?" "Go join in the fun." College students participate in this kind of competition to improve their own records, and most companies and individuals participate to gain fame. Su Yuan just felt bored and wanted to have fun. "Okay, then I'll go sign up." Zhao Qingsu nodded, clicked in and started filling in the information. Su Yuan also joined in the fun. When Zhao Qingsu signed up, he checked all the categories. Zhao Qingsu was a little confused. "Husband, is this okay?" "Why not?" "What?" "Manager, Mr. Su, is also here to participate in our robot competition." Due to Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu's high-profile show of affection some time ago, many people now know that the new chairman of Lumi is Su Yuan. Therefore, when Su Yuan signed up, the organizer of the robot competition, the China Automation Association, also received the news of his registration and rushed into the general manager's office excitedly. The general manager nodded, not being extremely surprised by this matter. After all, he was the one who sent Zhao Qingsu the invitation. "It's just that there is a problem here. I want to consult you." The subordinate over there looked at the information in his hand with an embarrassed expression. The manager motioned for him to say, "That's right, manager. Mr. Su is participating in our robot competition in his personal capacity. It's not against the rules. Although Su Yuan is the chairman of Green Rice Company, there is no mandatory requirement for him to participate in the competition under the name of the company. But the problem is that he used a robot to participate in competitions in more than a dozen categories under our name. Because this had never happened before, he came over to ask about this matter. How do you think this matter should be handled? You participated in competitions in more than a dozen categories." The manager was also shocked when he heard him say this, and quickly waved to him to hand over the information. After reading the information, he frowned. Logically speaking, the same robot shouldn't participate in so many competitions. But if the robot is all-round, it's not impossible. Then how do you think this matter should be resolved? As long as the time of the competition does not conflict, he can sign up. The manager hesitated for a moment and said, he remembered the snowman he saw in Zhao Qingsu's live broadcast room. There is a saying that goes, "The layman watches the excitement while the expert watches the details." To those who are not clear about the current development of AI in China, the snowman is just a very powerful robot. They have no idea how powerful it is. But although he only watched a short segment of Snowman's live broadcast, He could see that Snowman's technology was beyond his time. If he could appear in this robot competition, it might not be Snowman who benefited from the robot competition, but their robot competition that benefited from Snowman. Yes, manager. What? After Zhao Qingsu signed up for the robot competition, she forgot about it and didn't pay much attention to it. On weekends, it is time for the robot competition. Originally, Zhao Qingsu wanted to ask Qi Han to participate in the competition together. But Qi Han said that he had a date with Tong Shi and directly refused to participate. Zhao Qingsu sighed helplessly that she valued love over friendship, then turned around and went to participate in the competition with Su Yuan and Su Yuan's parents. The competition venue was in a large sports center. Because the robot competition has always been very popular, a lot of people came. The scene was packed with people. If you didn't know, you would think it was some kind of grand event. Su Yuan drove his Cayenne and finally squeezed into the parking lot. He found a spot to park the car and then walked into the venue through the VIP channel with Snowman. However, the combination of 4 people, a dog and a snowman, quickly attracted a lot of attention. Wow, this couple is so good-looking, right? Damn, they are even prettier than in the video. I heard that the fat robot next to them is very powerful. It seems to me that it is just like that. When I become the champion of the robot competition, I will also find a partner as beautiful as this one. What? Most people's attention is actually focused on the appearance of Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu. After all, among those who are basically immersed in research, beautiful ones are really rare. Not only are Su Yuan and Zhao Qingsu handsome men and beautiful women, they are also celebrities, so it is certainly impossible for them to be unknown. Those who were not around took out their phones to take pictures on the spot. Zhao Qingsu was a little uncomfortable with it, but after a while she didn't think it was a big deal. The person who was most happy to participate in this competition was Su Yuan's mother. She grabbed the snowman's hand and patted it. "Snowman, you must cheer up during the competition later and don't be too nervous." Chapter 270. No, I can do it myself. I know, Grandma, the snowman will do his best. After the snowman said this, he also made a cute cheering gesture. His posture finally attracted the attention of people around him. I heard that this robot has participated in more than a dozen competitions. It seems to be quite intelligent. What's the point of being smart or not? It's super easy to design a program that makes cute movements. To put it bluntly, it's just for show. Then I feel like what he said is true. Don't you understand the preset program? Some people think that the snowman is very powerful. Of course, there are also people who look down on the snowman. Many people think that the snowman is just trying to attract attention and is no different from those robots on short video platforms that do all kinds of cute things to attract people's attention. I think so. Robots are used to benefit mankind. Robots that can only say a few cute words and do a few cute actions are completely useless. They are far inferior to the rescue robot you designed. But the rescue robot you recently designed is really amazing, and I think it has great market prospects. Once the design is mature, it can be deployed in swimming pools and various public places. It is definitely a big step for mankind. Some people are starting to brag about rescue robots. The man who was praised just smiled faintly and said, "I don't dare to call it a big step for mankind, but I think what I created is still a certain contribution to mankind." Hey, you are being modest. Faced with all kinds of distrust and doubts from the people around him, Su Yuan smiled slightly, did not argue, looked at the competition time and walked towards the venue of the first game. The seating at the competition venue is relatively free, divided into audience seats and contestant areas. All you have to do is bring your robot and sit in the contestant area and wait. When a competition is needed, the host on the stage will call out numbers. Su Yuan glanced at his number plate, which showed number 19. He was somewhat dissatisfied with the number plate. Isn't this too far back? It will affect the speed at which he leads the snowman to slaughter the robots in the competition. Zhao Qingsu was not in a hurry. Let's take a look at other people's robots. What? Our home robots made so clunky. Isn't this too stupid? Won't this robot destroy itself while working? Maybe he just came here to make up the numbers and do nothing. When many people who were participating in the home robot competition saw the snowman that Su Yuan was bringing, they secretly covered their mouths and laughed. Since the main job of household robots is to help people share housework, their designs are generally based on flexible joints. Most of them look slender, and their limbs are very anthropomorphic, and they appear to be very agile at first glance. In comparison, the snowman looks like it came out of an anime. Its fat body looks very clumsy. Su Yuan was too lazy to argue with others about these things. He just pretended he didn't hear anything. After all, strength was the key. Zhao Qingsu has been live streaming for a while, and her mental strength has been strengthened, so she can remain calm in the face of these gossipers. But Su Yuan's mother was very unhappy. She glared at the gossipers with a stern face, then turned around and pulled the snowman to comfort him. You don't have to listen to their nonsense. Compared to those skinny guys, you are much cuter. Look how soft you feel. Grandma is so nice. The snowman happily rubbed his head against Su Yuan's mother's shoulder. When the people around saw this scene, they were all stunned for a moment, and then they lowered their heads and whispered even louder. This is a robot competition, not a pre-programmed competition. Why are you doing all these fancy things? And why are you even acting like this? I don't believe robots can communicate with humans like this. I think this robot registered in the wrong place. It should have registered for the cute robot group. A robot that acts cute needs a pair of big eyes after all. How can you compare with these small eyes? As he was speaking, the host on the stage officially announced the start of the robot competition, Home Robot Competition. After some nonsense, robot number 1 was called to come on stage. This robot is so stupid, not as smart as you at all. Look at all the dust in the corners, they don't even know to wipe it with a rag. This one is stupid too. He can't even use a washing machine. Wow, this is even more stupid. After packing the garbage, isn't it tied into a knot? What if it falls apart? Maybe it was because the snowman had been complained about too much before, which made Su Yuan's mother want to protect her robot. She was dissatisfied with all the robots and started to criticize them directly. Seeing the old lady complaining so much, the people around couldn't help but say, "Auntie, do you know how high the technological content of these robots is? Don't talk nonsense. These robots are high-tech, I can't tell." Su Yuan's mother patted the snowman beside her and said, "Anyway, none of them are as powerful as our snowman. Auntie is confident. Auntie, you'll know when the time comes." No one believed what Su Yuan's mother said. They just shook their heads and smiled and continued watching the game. About an hour later, it was finally Su Yuan's turn. After the host called out number 19 to go on stage, Su Yuan handed the number plate in his hand to the snowman, patted him, and let it go to the competition on its own. The snowman nodded, took the number plate, and went up. Fuck, this is crazy, right? Letting the robot go on stage by itself. It turns out that confidence is hereditary. Not only is the old lady confident, but the whole family is confident. This thing seems to really understand. Generally speaking, in order to make the competition more effective and to avoid unexpected situations, robots are brought on stage by their owners to participate in the competition. Before the competition, the owner has to set some parameters for the robot so that the robot can adapt to the competition venue and complete the level smoothly. But what does it mean that this person lets the robot take the stage by itself? The host on the stage was also stunned for a moment. Where is the owner of robot number 19? They need to go on stage together. No, I can do it myself. Seeing the confused look of the host, the snowman spoke. Moreover, before the host could explain the rules of the competition, the snowman had already extended his hand to him. "Hello, my name is Snowman, nice to meet you. Please give me your guidance." Probably because he had hosted the robot competition for so many years, but this was the first time he encountered such a situation. The host held the microphone for a long time before he managed to say, "Hello. Hello, I'm glad to meet you too." Chapter 271, You Are the Organizer for Nothing. This design is full of details. Is this programmer a social geek? He can even write code to interact with the host. Awesome. Very interesting. I'll see how many points this robot can get for doing housework. Seeing this scene, although the audience and contestants in the audience couldn't help laughing, besides laughing, they had more expressions of enjoying the show. After all, this is a competition, not a variety show, and it's not enough to just make people laugh. Su Yuan's mother looked nervous and seemed to care more about the competition than Snowman. She wanted to run onto the stage to cheer for Snowman. Her behavior reminded Su Yuan of when he participated in a youth singing competition in middle school. She was also cheering for him from the audience. Her voice was really loud back then. Because home robots are different and have different functional focuses, in order to be fair, there are a total of 12 items in the home robot competition. The 4 that your robot is best at are selected, and then 4 judges will score them. The one with the highest score will win. Even if the robot goes on stage by itself, it is impossible to let the robot do things like selecting the competition items right. Just as the host was about to say this, Snowman spoke again. I have already chosen the tasks, which are mopping the floor, washing dishes, cooking, and washing clothes. Okay, please follow me. The host smiled awkwardly at the snowman. Looking at his silly appearance, he almost wanted to reach out and pinch him to see if there was really a person hidden under this fat body. Wow, this robot actually chose to cook. Not very reliable, right? Is cooking too difficult for him? You're here to make fun of me. When the people in the audience saw the project chosen by Snowman, they all started whispering. These 12 projects have different levels of difficulty for robots with different focuses, but cooking is a recognized difficult task. After all, cooking is a very complicated process. In addition to frying the vegetables, you also have to wash, cut, and prepare the side dishes, and then serve them after frying. Most robots that claim to be able to cook basically prepare the ingredients in advance and put them into the robot's special equipment to stew the dishes. Not to mention how they taste, it is actually very troublesome. But this fat snowman actually chose to cook. Isn't this a bit too embarrassing? When everyone was feeling confused, the competition on stage officially began. The first item is mopping the floor. Most robots have built-in mopping devices, similar to the settings of sweeping robots. But the snowman is different. It directly uses the tools prepared on site and begins to carefully wash the mop and wring it out like a human. Then it meticulously mops the floor from the beginning, picking up the garbage in the corners and throwing them into the trash can. Seeing this scene, everyone in the audience was stunned. This fucking working posture really looks a bit like my wife. How long have you not seen a woman? How can you fantasize about this? Fuck you, I mean this robot simulation is pretty good, okay? While a group of people were discussing in low voices, Su Yuan's mother clapped her hands happily. Oh, our snowman is so smart and powerful, it mops the floor so clean. This time, no one stood up to refute what Su Yuan's mother said. Looking at the snowman mopping the floor, everyone finally realized that things were not simple and began to watch the game on the stage seriously. After the snowman finished mopping the floor, the judges discussed in low voices for a while, basically reached a consensus, and gave a score of 9 points. The first item only received a score of 9 points. This is too scary. The scoring system is out of 10 points, and a score of 9 is already very high. Among the 18 robots that participated before, only one got a good score of 9 points, and the rest did not even get 9 points. It can be seen how terrifying the snowman's score is. However, the final score is the sum of the 4 items. So although the score of the first item is linked to the total score, it cannot play a decisive role. The second task is washing dishes. The review team had already prepared the props and placed them on the table. The snowman moved to the side of the table and quickly and steadily stacked the porcelain bowls one by one and placed them on the kitchen table. Then it observed the kitchen, and when everyone was wondering if there was something wrong with the program, it spoke to the host. Excuse me, do you want me to wash it by hand or use the dishwasher? It found the dishwasher in the corner of the kitchen. Damn, this question is beyond the scope again. Whose robot has so many things to do? The host growled inwardly and gave a forced smile. You are free to choose this, as long as you wash the dishes clean. Okay. Snowman nodded, quickly walked to the dishwasher and observed it, then muttered. The quality of this dishwashing powder is too poor. The stain removal index is 92%. I'd better wash it by hand. After saying that, she casually pulled off an apron from the side and began the hard work of washing dishes. Watching the snowman wash the dishes meticulously and then put them neatly into the disinfection cabinet. Not only were they arranged scientifically, but his movements were also quick and efficient without making any sound. The people below were speechless. Why does this feel like it was rehearsed in advance? Is there any inside information? Looking at the snowman's skillful movements as if it was washing dishes at home, the contestants below looked at their robots and muttered. The robot he brought to the competition was a dishwasher robot. However, his shower robot operates in a similar way to a dishwasher. There is a box the size of a microwave oven in the middle of his dishwasher robot. If you need to wash dishes, you put the dishes in the box and then pour dishwashing powder and disinfectant on them. In fact, the principle is similar to that of a dishwasher. It can be said to be a mobile dishwasher. But the biggest limitation of his dishwasher is that it has a small space. It can only wash ordinary dishes, and the number is limited. As for pots and spoons with long handles, they can't be put in at all. Are you the organizer just for free? While the people below were arguing, the snowman above had already started the third event after scoring another 9 points. The third event of the competition is cooking. This one is the most difficult. Su Yuan's mother in the audience was also quite nervous. Oh no, it seems that Snowman still can't cook. It's all my fault. If I had known, I wouldn't have spoiled him like this. Su Yuan glanced at his mother and remained silent. Zhao Qingsu was also covering her mouth and laughing. I have to say, my mother-in-law is so cute tilde. Chapter 272, Your robot is quite special. The snowman's performance before was already very shocking, so when it came to cooking, everyone couldn't help but look forward to it. The snowman looked around the kitchen and asked the host, "What would you like to eat today?" Generally speaking, in the cooking project, the only requirement is to make a complete dish. There is no requirement as to what dish to make. It is up to the contestants to choose. Therefore, the question about the snowman is another question beyond the scope of the syllabus for the host. What are you good at?" "I'm good at both." The host coughed and said, "Then let's just make a home-cooked dish. How about home-cooked tofu?" In fact, it seems that the host just casually said the name of a dish, but in fact it is not that simple. Home-cooked tofu is indeed a very common side dish, but it is very difficult to make it delicious, and tofu is relatively delicate and very troublesome to handle. Even humans can make mistakes and easily break the tofu, let alone robots. Okay, homemade tofu. Do you need anything else? According to China's nutritional dietary ratio, if you only eat one tofu in a meal, you will not get enough dietary fiber and vitamins, which can easily lead to nutritional imbalance. No need, this is a competition. Okay. After confirming the recipe, I saw Snowman skillfully pick out a palm-sized piece of tofu weighing about 400 grams, then cut the tofu into small pieces, skillfully added oil to the pan, and fried the tofu until golden on all sides. After finishing all this, he cut some green onions, ginger, garlic, and celery as side dishes, then heated up the oil in a pan, added the green onions, ginger, and garlic to sauté until fragrant, then threw the tofu in and stir-fried. When the tofu is almost done, pour light soy sauce along the edge of the pan, then add salt, chicken essence, oyster sauce, stir-fry evenly, and thicken with water starch in one go. Looking at its professional appearance, it's as if I saw a chef working hard in the kitchen. Isn't this incredible? I don't even need to eat this tofu to know it must taste good. I don't know if it tastes good or not, but it looks much better than what my wife cooks. I can eat all the dishes my wife cooks, so how can I dislike something this delicious? The people below began to guess what the tofu tasted like. The host had already instructed the staff to divide the tofu into several portions and serve them to the judges. Then he took out a pair of chopsticks from somewhere and couldn't help but pick up a piece from the plate to try it. It's moderately salty, tender, and tasty. It's just right not only in terms of seasoning, but also in terms of cooking time. 10 points. After eating the dishes made by the snowman, the judges on the stage gave their scores with shocked looks on their faces. It's a 10-point score that has never appeared before in history. Everyone in the arena was excited when they heard this score. This is the first time a score as high as 10 points has appeared. It makes me want to try what this tofu tastes like. It seems that this robot is the undisputed champion today. Basically, those who can come to watch this robot competition are usually people who are interested in robots and pay more attention to this aspect, so they know what level the robots are at. Oh my, our snowman got full marks, that's awesome. Amid the applause, Su Yuan's expression remained calm, but Su Yuan's mother was not so calm. She looked so proud that she wanted to tell everyone that the snowman was her biological child. Because of the outstanding performance of the snowman, a lot of reporters were attracted to watch. The venue, which was originally more than enough, was packed with reporters who flocked to the venue. Various live broadcasts and press releases have been released. The snowman, who originally only stayed in Zhao Qingsu's live broadcast room, is expected to go completely viral after this competition is over. But that's not enough. After the last event was completed, Su Yuan took the snowman and left without waiting for the score to be calculated. Not only the audience, contestants, and hosts were puzzled by his action, but the reporters were also very curious about what he was going to do. They crowded in front of Su Yuan and handed him the microphone. "Excuse me, Mr. Su, is the snowman the latest robot product developed by your company? When did you start developing it? How long did it take? Who is the main developer?" Mr. Su, Snowman has achieved excellent results in this competition. If nothing unexpected happens, he will be the champion. I wonder what you think now. Mr. Su, Facing the reporter's questions, Su Yuan looked down at the time on his wrist and smiled. Sorry, I don't have time to answer your questions now. I will answer your questions after this competition is over, okay? So now you want to? I'm going to participate in other types of competitions. To be precise, we need to go to other competition venues to slaughter. Su Yuan said this, and called the security guard to clear the way for him, and he successfully arrived at the rescue robot site. The rescue robot competition was already halfway through, and it was his turn next. There are many types of rescue robots, including outdoor search and rescue robots, water rescue robots that can swim, and robots that can put out fires. Basically, just choose what you are good at. Of course, you can select multiple options. However, basically no one will choose multiple options because each robot has different functions. So in order to adapt to the rescue scenario, the robot design will have a certain uniqueness. For example, an outdoor search and rescue robot. This type of robot is mainly used to replace humans in search and rescue work in complex and dangerous terrain. In order to move quickly on such complex terrain, the robot generally adopts a track plus sensor design. Of course, there are also snake-shaped ones. There are many kinds of things anyway. Brother, your robot is quite special. Among the pile of household robots, the snowman at most looks relatively round. But among the pile of strange-shaped rescue robots, the snowman looks so normal that it's not normal at all. He is totally an outlier that stands out from the crowd. The people around pondered for a long time, but still couldn't understand what kind of robot the snowman was, so they couldn't help but come over and ask. Su Yuan nodded. Yes, it is a special, all-round rescue robot. Chapter 273. Do you have to be so scary? Oh my God. Isn't the tone of voice too arrogant? Someone actually calls himself an all-round rescue robot. After hearing what he said, the people around him all showed a hint of disdain on their faces. The person who had just spoken to Su Yuan also pretended to be polite and stopped talking. And soon it was the snowman's turn. This time, the snowman went up alone with the number plate. It introduced itself to the host with ease, and then began to choose rescue projects. Select all. After taking a quick look at the rescue project, the snowman slowly gave 2 words. Zumb. The host on the stage thought there was something wrong with his ears, or that there was a problem with the robot's programming when the designer was designing it, so he asked the audience, "Whose robot is this? What rescue project did you choose?" I repeat, select all. It was the snowman who answered him. After confirming that the snowman was not joking or had a programming error, the host was shocked. The audience below also began to discuss in low voices. But the snowman was quite calm and went straight to the competition venue for the first event. The competition venue for the first event was home first aid, which was not difficult for the snowman. He completed the first event with standard movements and quickly. The second event is complex field first aid. The rules of this competition are to find the target hidden by the organizer within the specified time, and then observe and rescue the target. As soon as they saw the snowman coming to the search and rescue site, everyone below laughed quietly. Is this a joke? The robot is designed to be so fat that I wonder if he will fall down while walking. This kind of outdoor rescue is the most troublesome. In addition, the organizer's special dog this time has very weak vital signs and is difficult to detect. Really, it's funny. The people below were obviously not optimistic about the snowman, and their faces showed half smiles. Because the venue is relatively small, the time limit for this rescue is 5 minutes. If the target is detected and the coordinates are exposed within 5 minutes, the mission is considered completed. After the countdown started, the snowman glanced around the field and revealed the target's coordinates almost instantly. Finally, he arrived next to the target and easily moved those huge rocks weighing nearly 100 pounds and carried the target out. From the start of the game to the time the snowman carried out the target, only 30 seconds had passed. Almost everyone at the scene fell into deep thought. Is it really necessary to be so scary? Don't they have any face? Mission accomplished. It was the snowman who interrupted everyone's thoughts, and he set his target next to the host. The host finally reacted and loudly announced the snowman's score, then asked the judges on the side to give their scores. After discussing it for a while, several judges nearby unanimously raised the sign of full marks. Full marks again. Fuck, I just heard that the robot next door also got full marks. How come so many robots got full marks today? The one next door seems to be called Snowman as well. Is this the Snowman? What? After crushing the life-saving robot, Su Yuan saw that the time was almost up, so after the snowman's game was over, he took Zhao Qingsu and his parents out of the VIP channel and planned to go eat. But as soon as he walked into the VIP channel, and before he had time to get into the elevator, he was blocked by a group of people. "Mr. Su, I'm very interested in your robot snowman. Our company happens to be in this field. I wonder if you have time to talk to me." "Mr. Su, I have a few projects I'd like to discuss with you." "Mr. Su, we just happened to be on the way. Let's chat together." Su Yuan felt a little depressed when being blocked by a group of people. He subconsciously blocked his parents and Zhao Qingsu behind him, and then asked curiously, "How did you know we were going the same way?" "Mr. Su, I'll go wherever you go. Isn't this just on the way?" Looking at the group of people in front of him, Su Yuan had to say that he was a little depressed. "Sorry, I really don't have time here, and cooperation and other matters are not my responsibility. If you are interested in cooperating with me, please contact my assistant." "But, Mr. Su..." Su Yuan ignored the group of people and left in the elevator without saying anything. After sitting down at the nearby restaurant they had booked, Su Yuan finally let out a sigh of relief. This group of people is really troublesome. Should I consider getting some bodyguards? He used to think that bodyguards were useless. It's quite annoying to have him follow her in and out every day. Anyway, he has the Guardians of the Galaxy. Each of them is worth an army, so he doesn't need bodyguards at all. But it's too conspicuous to have the Guardians of the Galaxy following you in and out every day. So bodyguards are almost the same. I don't expect them to fight. I just want them to be a deterrent. Bodyguard? It's too much to ask for a bodyguard. Su Yuan's father frowned. You should be more low-key. Look at what kind of person our son is now. How can he be so low-key? I think for the sake of safety, it would be a good idea to have a few bodyguards follow him. That way he will be safe. Su Yuan's mother is very open-minded about this matter. Zhao Qingsu also supported Su Yuan's decision. Su Yuan thought about it, took out his cell phone and asked Xin Ziolai to arrange this matter. It would be better to arrange 2 drivers, so that it would be more convenient for his parents to go out somewhere at that time, so that they don't have to drive themselves when they are old. Zooer, the snowman is on fire. Zooer, don't be lazy, we want to watch the live broadcast. Humph, Zooer is so stingy that she didn't even let us watch the live broadcast. When she was free, she glanced at her mobile phone and sure enough, the background of her phone was full of urging messages. This made Zhao Qingsu feel a little amused. She couldn't help but reply, "Okay, I got it. I'm eating now. I'll do a live broadcast in the afternoon tilde. Then Zooer, you must not forget it." "That's right, I'm going to do a live broadcast this afternoon to watch the snowman slaughter the robots." Today's video was fun to watch, but it's not as exciting as the live broadcast tilde. Before, Snowman was just playing around in his own circle, but his performance in the 2 games this morning made him a hot topic. Fans who used to watch Snowman in Zhao Qingsu's live broadcast room are now asking Zhao Qingsu to watch his live broadcast, and they can't wait to see Snowman's next performance. Chapter 274, this is really awesome. Not only Zhao Qingsu's fans saw this video, almost everyone who was online at that time had seen the hot searches for this game. Therefore, the topic of discussion on the internet has basically become snowmen. Have robots become so advanced now? How much is one of these robots? I will buy one even if it means I lose everything I own. It is much more reliable than a wife. I advise all male compatriots not to save for betrothal gifts anymore. If you want to save to buy a robot. It can do housework and won't make you cry. It's a blessing for otakus. This is really awesome. It feels like my mom is doing it tilde. There are not only many people watching the fun online, but also many people trying to take advantage of the popularity. Any technology-related video account with a keen sense of smell will basically immediately release a video about this competition and engage in various discussions. When Su Yuan returned to the competition venue in the afternoon, the scene was even more terrifying than in the morning. There were many media outlets who saw the game become popular in the morning and came over in the afternoon to follow suit. There were also many internet celebrities who came over to live stream the game to take advantage of the popularity. There were also some who wanted to take advantage of the situation and wanted to go in to live stream the game up close, but they were kicked out by security guards because they did not have tickets. When Su Yuan, Zhao Qingsu, and 3 others appeared with the snowman, they almost caused a commotion at the scene. Fortunately, the organizer was more thoughtful and probably expected such a situation to happen in the afternoon, so they sent more than 20 security personnel to directly send Su Yuan and others into the VIP channel. There were 4 major events held simultaneously in the afternoon. Please, I want to get a good ranking in this competition. Don't let that god come over. Some are happy, some are sad. Some people would like to see the snowman become popular so that there will be topics, popularity and food to eat. But the contestants didn't think so. During their lunch break, they all watched the video of Su Yuan's snowman competition, in which he almost crushed the 2 major events of Home Robot and Rescue Robot. With the current popularity of the snowman, it is basically known where it appears, and other robots can only become supporting roles. No matter what rank you get, no one will pay attention. Someone nearby fiddled with the dancing robot in his hand in despair. Who made that snowman so popular? I think this competition is just for that snowman. Don't mention it. The technology used by the snowman is indeed advanced. Let's not talk about how well it does in terms of artificial intelligence. We have all witnessed this. Take the detection sensors used by the snowman, for example. It can instantly detect the vital signs of the target released by the organizer from a distance of dozens of meters. This shows that the technology it uses is at least dozens of times more advanced than what we use now. Although the group of people were jealous of the snowman, they actually had to admit that the snowman was awesome. Hey, I don't think we need to worry so much. After all, we are dancing robots. The snowman shouldn't come here. It's short and stout. What can it dance? Before someone could finish speaking, a cry of surprise was heard from the field, followed by a thunderous whistle and cheers. It was Su Yuan who brought the snowman to the dancing robot venue. Seeing Su Yuan and the snowman sitting in the contestant's seat, almost all the contestants had unhappy expressions. It comes again. The competition venue for the dancing robots was filled with wailing and was almost gloomy. It was so miserable that it was beyond description. And the result is indeed. Thanks to dancing, Snowman gained a new wave of fans. He also received the message from Xin Ziolai. Boss Su, today I received calls from CEO Zhang, CEO Li, CEO Lin. All of them wanted to make appointments with you. What do you think? Generally, when someone makes an appointment with Su Yuan, Xin Ziolai will send away unimportant people on her own. But the people she just mentioned are all from companies with some status in the Magic City and the Imperial City. She didn't dare to act on her own, so she called and asked Su Yuan's opinion. Su Yuan's answer was also very clear and straightforward. I rejected it. Yes. Su Yuan could easily guess what this group of people wanted to do by calling, so he had no intention of meeting them at all. The snowman is indeed outstanding. Next, he also plans to put the robot on the market for sale, but his next decision is destined to be not so friendly to businessmen. After slaughtering several major events of the robot competition on the first day, Su Yuan did not go the next day. The main reason was that there were too many people. Not only was it crowded, but Su Yuan also had to sit in the contestant's seat and endure the resentful looks from the other contestants. Su Yuan always felt a chill on his neck, which was really not a good feeling. However, although many people were disappointed that he did not participate in the competition the next day, the popularity of the snowman is still very high. Zhao Qingsu's phone almost exploded from urging her to broadcast every day. She had no choice but to start the live broadcast. I know that everyone has been paying close attention to our snowman these past 2 days. I am really grateful for your love for our snowman. I also know what everyone is most concerned about, but I regret to tell you that our snowman is unique and will not be put on the market. After hearing what Zhao Qingsu said, the people below wailed. Is this true? Is it so cruel? Why don't you mass-produce such a good robot? I'll buy it even if it costs $1 million. That's right. You guys think too much. The manufacturing cost of a snowman is really very high. $1 million is probably not enough to buy a part of the snowman. According to what my husband said, the cost of making a snowman is conservatively estimated to be $100 million. After Zhao Qingsu finished speaking, she looked at the comments filled with shock and suddenly chuckled. The above is the bad news I want to tell you today, but with bad news there will naturally be good news tilde. My husband said that although the snowman cannot be put on the market, the snowman #1 will be officially on sale in a week. If you like it, you can buy one then. The snowman #1 that Zhao Qingsu mentioned is actually a low-end version of the robot. It is certainly not as good as the snowman in terms of functionality and intelligence, and its learning ability is almost zero, but it is enough for current family needs. The most important thing is that this robot is very cheap to make, and of course the selling price will not be too expensive. Really, how much does snowman #1 cost? If it's too expensive, I definitely won't be able to afford it. Zooer, can you tell me the price tilde? As soon as they heard that Snowman #1 was for sale and would be on sale next week, the people on the barrage immediately felt hopeful again. Chapter 275, You Think So Beautiful. But Zhao Qingsu sighed, I don't even know the price. My husband said it was a business secret and wouldn't tell me. After saying that, she shrugged helplessly. Su Yuan, who was standing by, heard her say that and went straight over to snatch her phone away and turned off the live broadcast. What are you doing? Zhao Qingsu was pressed on the sofa by him and groaned twice. HMPH, you are not gentle at all. Who told you to let me take the blame? Didn't I tell you the price of the robot a long time ago? Now you are slandering me. Su Yuan pretended to pull her clothes off. I don't care, I'm going to punish you. We're in the living room, maybe our parents will be here by then. Let go. Zhao Qingsu was half frightened by his actions. She quickly struggled to get up and grabbed her clothes, looking at him with vigilance. You're thinking that? Zhao Qingsu kicked him in anger. Don't blame me for being rude, it hurts when I hit you. Su Yuan leaned forward and said, I'll beat you. Zhao Qingsu was so angry that she held his face fiercely and raised her hands high. Don't think I don't dare. Boo tilde. Brother-in-law, you are here. Li Zheng was sitting in the VIP lounge of Huoguo Bank. He smiled at the president of Huoguo Bank who came in and said politely, I've been wanting to see you lately, but it's getting harder and harder. Here, this is something I brought you. I know you like to smoke cigars. These boxes of cigars are limited editions. Take a look and see if you like them. Zhao Yan, president of Huoguo Bank, glanced at Li Zheng calmly and said, Just say whatever you want to say. We are all family. There is no need to be so polite. Zhao Yan has never thought highly of his brother-in-law because he is too smooth talking. However, he has been willing to study hard in the past 2 years and has really built up the business of his factory. Now it has the potential to become the largest parts manufacturer in the country. Even as the president of a bank, he has to give Zhao Yan some face. Brother-in-law, it's like this, you see. Mr. Su should be your client, right? Everyone was an acquaintance, so there was no need to test each other's relationship. So Li Zheng went straight to the point. When Su Yuan was mentioned, Zhao Yan's face suddenly became alert. He is now the largest customer of Huoguo Bank. This kid actually set his sights on Su Yuan. He hesitated for a moment and asked, What do you want me to do? There's no way I can give you his contact information. Even though the other party was his brother-in-law and had given him so many benefits, he would never reveal the personal information of his biggest client. Brother-in-law, don't look at me like I'm on guard against thieves. I know you have your rules and I won't break them. Li Zheng leaned closer to Zhao Yanyan and said, Just follow the rules of your bank. Doesn't your bank give gifts to customers during festivals? Thanksgiving is coming in 2 days. Do you think you can go to Mr. Su to keep in touch with him? Then what? Then I'll tell Mr. Su about my business. You know how strong I am now. If I can get the order from Lumi, I will definitely be the largest parts manufacturer in the country. When the time comes, brother-in-law, if you want me to help you with something, it will be just a matter of a word from you, brother-in-law. Seeing Zhao Yan remain silent for a long time, Li Zheng spoke again. Brother-in-law, as long as you can get this done for me, I promise to withdraw all my savings from the bank next door and deposit them with you. I'll give this a try. Zhao Yan couldn't help but be tempted by the conditions Li Zheng offered. He pondered for a moment and said, I can't quite figure out Mr. Su, so I can only do my best in this matter. Whether it will succeed in the end depends on God's will. Okay. Since he had promised Li Zheng this, Zhao Yan had no choice but to arrange for his subordinates to prepare Thanksgiving gifts. For important customers of the bank will express its gratitude during festivals and holidays. In order not to be treated specially, Li Zheng had to prepare all the Thanksgiving gifts. The only difference is that, for ordinary important customers, it is the subordinates who deliver the gifts, but for Su Yuan, he goes to deliver the gifts personally. There happened to be 2 other clients in the community where Su Yuan lived, so he took the things over as well, which seemed more natural. After driving to the Delan Mansion community, Li Zheng thought about it and decided to go to the first house first. The family owned a small textile factory and had deposited more than 20 million yuan with him, making them one of the bank's major clients. When he went there, the male protagonist's mistress was not at home, and there was only an old lady at home. He explained his purpose, handed the things to the old lady, and then left the house. However, the old lady was very enthusiastic and insisted on seeing him off. But after the old lady sent him downstairs, she showed no intention of going back. Zhao Yan was silent for a moment, "Auntie, you only need to send me here. You don't need to send me off again." When the old lady saw someone around, her voice suddenly became louder. "You are the president of the bank. It is my duty to send you here. You don't have to be polite to me." When she shouted, almost everyone looked over here. The old lady was immediately very proud. Zhao Yan also understood what the old lady was going to do, but he had seen many people like this before, so he was not angry because of this behavior. He just smiled and said, "It's enough for you to drop me off here. I have other clients to visit. I know you are busy, so I won't bother you." As the old lady spoke, her eyes rolled around, and she saw Su Yuan's mother and father walking over with Li Guo. She immediately changed the subject. "It's old Su, you're out walking the dog again." Sometimes when one circle becomes corrupt, everything will become corrupt as well. This community has the largest number of middle-class people living in it, and naturally they are very competitive with each other. Not only do the children compete with each other, but even the elderly are full of competition. The old lady felt superior to others because her son's family ran a factory, but she was always criticized in front of Su Yuan's mother. Now that she got the chance, she naturally would not let it go. Chapter 276, Who Are You to My Son? Yes. Although she didn't like this old lady very much, she still had to go up to her and say hello to her since she had already greeted her proactively. Seeing Zhao Yan standing next to her, Su Yuan's mother asked casually, "Is this your nephew?" Seeing that Su Yuan's mother had misunderstood, Zhao Yan looked a little embarrassed. But the old lady just laughed and said, "How can I be so lucky? This is not my nephew, but Mr. Zhao, the president of Huoguo Bank. Doesn't my son have a lot of money in Huoguo Bank? He came to see me this time." The old lady couldn't hide the pride in her tone at all. Su Yuan's mother nodded calmly. "So that's how it is. My son has saved a lot of money in Huoguo Bank. I don't know how much he has saved. Oh, I didn't ask him to come and see me specially, but Mr. Zhao is so considerate and even brought me a lot of things." The old lady was showing off as much as she could. Su Yuan's father usually didn't interrupt these old ladies. He just nodded slightly and then squatted down to play with the dog. Su Yuan's mother rolled her eyes secretly. "Humph, don't you just want her to say a few words of envy? She just won't say it." The old lady boasted for a long time, but seeing that Su Yuan's mother had a calm expression, neither envious nor jealous, she felt a little bored and decided to end this pretentious journey. "Ah, I've told you so much, and it's getting late. I don't have anything to do, but Mr. Zhao is very busy, so I won't say anything more." When Zhao Yan heard that the old lady was going to let him go, he was so happy that he almost burst into tears. But before he could be happy for long, the old lady's next words made him dumbfounded. "Aunt Su, I'm not saying anything bad, but Huoguo Bank is really good. If possible, you can ask your Su Yuan to deposit his money in Huoguo Bank as well. That way, Mr. Zhao will come to see you during the holidays." Su Yuan. If he remembered correctly, the director of Green Rice was called Su Yuan. Live in this neighborhood too. It's impossible that there are two people named Su Yuan in the same community by coincidence, right? "Are you Mr. Su's parents?" Zhao Yan couldn't help but ask. Su Yuan's mother and father looked at each other and said, "Who are you to my son?" Su Yuan's mother and father really don't know Zhao Yan. "Oh, let me introduce myself again. My last name is Zhao, and I am the president of Huoguo Bank. I have come here specially to deliver Thanksgiving gifts to our bank's major customers." After he finished speaking, he completely ignored the old lady beside him and enthusiastically instructed the assistant next to him. "Hurry up and get the gift we prepared for President Su." "Yes." After a while, the assistant brought in 4 or 5 bags of large and small things. "It looks like there are more things than what you give to your own home." The old lady who was pretending to be cool just now was stunned when she saw this scene. "What's going on? What are you doing?" Su Yuan's mother was also quite confused. Why did he send something like that? Mr. Su is our bank's largest customer, so of course our bank has to express its gratitude. This is just a small token of our appreciation. While Zhao Yan was speaking, the assistant had already handed the item over. But the next second, Zhao Yan snatched the things back from Su Yuan's mother and glared at his assistant. "Why are you so blind? How can you let the 2 elders carry such a heavy thing?" After that, he continued to say to Su Yuan's parents with a smile, "Let's go, I'll deliver the things to you." "Mr. Zhao, what are you doing?" The old lady next to him finally understood what Zhao Yan was doing and couldn't help feeling jealous and angry. She stared at herself and muttered, "Why are the gifts different?" Zhao Yan listened to the old lady's question with a calm expression. Our bank is very attentive and humane in the customization of gifts. The gifts are different according to the needs of each family, but this is all from the heart of our bank. After saying that, he ignored the old lady and walked home with Su Yuan's mother. Seeing that the old lady was so angry that she almost passed out, Su Yuan's mother felt a little sorry for her, so she happily stepped forward and stabbed the old lady. How about you ask your son to deposit more money in the bank? Later. After returning home, Su Yuan's mother explained the situation to Su Yuan. After listening to this, Su Yuan smiled slightly and invited Zhao Yan to come in and sit down. Zhao Yan was flattered by Su Yuan's gentle attitude and walked in. He looked around and greeted Su Yuan with a smile. Mr. Su, the place you live in is too low-key. Perhaps for ordinary people, this community is already the ceiling, and they may not be able to afford a toilet in this place even if they work hard all their lives. But only Zhao Yan knows the answer. For someone of Su Yuan's level, this level of community is simply rubbish. He can definitely live in the best villa in the Magic City. My wife lives here because she likes